What up? What up, guys? How y'all doing? Gonna have a fun time today. What's up, Kale? What's up, __? Arrow break, Pogger troll. What's up? What's up? Guess what I'm streaming on? Yo, what's up, Ivan? Yes, sir. We're on AV1 right now, guys. Crazy. It's the future. I've officially upgraded. I got some, so I call it hi-fi instead of lo-fi, which is really corny. But let me know what you think about what the music is like, and if it's loud enough to, just let me know. You can always adjust. Did I see the movie? No, I have not seen the movie yet. I swear to God, do not spoil anything. I've heard it's okay. I think you're talking about the Spider-Verse movie. What's up, Steven? Yeah, I want to see it. I'm excited. Ooh, on God, bro. Cute as hell. But yeah, I'm gonna see that movie in theaters at some point. I'm gonna get some friends together and see it. But I heard some people, one of my friends had already seen it and he said that it was okay, but he reads a lot of comic books, so they ruined it. Diablo looks pretty good too. Blizzard finally put out a good game. Crazy. Bobby Cockdick. That's our boy. That's what we love to see, right? Other than that, I mean, there hasn't been that much going on in the PC gaming community. Obviously, Computex was last week. Computex is pretty interesting. Paul from Not an Apple Fan put out another awesome video today. We're not going to be reacting to that. We're going to be reacting to something else I want to add on to it, which you guys might have seen. Yeah, might come back to Diablo. Does Diablo... what's so weird to me is, does Diablo have a battle pass? That's like... I don't know, it just feels weird. No, there's a lot of people playing it right now. I've heard it's really good. By the way, what do you guys think about the stream quality? How does AV1 look? I've been really enjoying it right now. It's like very sharp for how small the file sizes are. So I'm streaming at about 12,000 right now. It's it looks good to me. I mean, I'll have to do some side-by-side testing, which I will get to eventually. I want to compare it to the other GPUs and coders and see which one's the best, and compare it to the other ones. Tried For Honor. I've heard of For Honor. Isn't that the is that the right, y'all are just way too flattering. Isn't that the game with the medieval stuff? And then there's I always feel like the sword play was like so slow looking. Oh, dude, that's a W. Poggers, dude. That's a really good deal. 3060 Ti for $200. Ooh. That's a good deal. Yeah, we do have the tank on today, by the way. It's not that hot down here, but it's, you know, it's decently nice out. When are we getting a cat cam? Well, there's a cat on my desk. She's like just sitting outside of it, so she'll be extra annoying. Might be a scam. Didn't you already get it? You already got it, right? Dude, there's sometimes like really good deals out there. Some people get 7900 XTXs for like $800 sometimes. Like, what happened there? I don't know, but the deals exist. They're just like very under the table. Not many people know about it. They just want to get rid of the card. At 3060 for a gaming PC, 400. Hey, are you in a different country? That sounds a lot for a 3060. Those things are going for like 300 right now. Or less than that. Maybe like 280. But yeah. So I wanted to bring you guys on today to talk about and I'm making sure not to pre-watch things now, okay? So this video came out a few days ago. And it is, I have to pull it up. And it's a clip from WAN show. So I'm gonna pull this up. You guys may have seen this, but I really want to discuss it because like this is actually a really interesting topic with how like Nvidia has been straying so far away from the gaming market as of lately, and they hit $1 trillion market evaluation not on gaming. So should they get rid of the gaming brand or should they sell it? So Linus has this here, and just straight up I'm gonna say it beforehand, like it might be better for them to sell it to somebody else who cares more about it, because right now they're competing with AMD. Intel isn't as prominent. They're competing with AMD, who doesn't even seem like they care either. So it's like, sell it to a company who cares about it. Maybe Intel's doing it to something like they're offering similar features and stuff, and also think next generation Nvidia cards might be manufactured at Intel instead of TSMC, because they have a comparable node, which is what, like 3 nanometer. Something to think about.
Nvidia joined the $1 trillion valuation big boys club. Sorry, gamers. And I alluded to this earlier. Right on the...
Just like instantly started off with the sorry gamers. Very sad. Oh, by the way, Tomaz said, hello Vex, where are you from? Here in Europe. You got VAT taxes. I don't know what VAT stands for, but I'm from the US. Yeah, I think there's a lot of competition for chip manufacturing. I don't know if they'll bring it up in this video, but let's see.
The heels of their launch of the RTX 4060, where gamers were up in arms, gaming media is up in arms over how awful the 4060 is.
And I want to like preface this by saying, like, even though Nvidia is making a lot of money on AI right now, I don't know how long that's gonna last. So it's like, it's kind of, it would be iffy if they were to all in on it. I'm not sure if they should sell, but you know, they might want to start working with some other companies or something.
From a competitive standpoint, how awful it is from a last gen to current gen upgrade standpoint. And then their stock jumps, 25% the following day. They briefly hit a $1 trillion valuation. This is alongside Apple,
bad news for gamers,
Microsoft, Amazon, and Saudi Aramco, which,
like, does it surprise you guys too, like how much money Nvidia is worth? Like, Nvidia's up with these guys. Oh my,
I don't know how to pronounce, but there you go. Oil company. They're the first chip maker to touch the 1 trillion mark thanks to massive demand for AI processors. That is what it is all about.
I think you nailed it. I think it was last WAN show when you were saying, like, I think they're not being price competitive on this GPU because they just didn't dedicate a lot of like manufacturing to it. Like I think that's it. I think why be price competitive when we don't even have a ton of them because
And they're definitely using these chips instead of using them for gaming cards. They're using them to make AI processors instead. So they want to not actually sell as many cards so that they can make more things to sell for AI, which they have way higher margins on.
we want those lines to be dedicated towards other things.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I was right anymore. I think
Come
it's
on,
a
Elon,
combination of things.
Elon will buy it, right?
They went to an aggressive new
Wait, is Tesla I don't think is Tesla a trillion? I think Elon is obviously worth that much, but that's not just Tesla. No, they didn't say that. They said Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. I don't know, something else.
process node that is more expensive and does have lower yields compared to what AMD is able to do with their lower end cards. The 7600 was the most recent one. And I had a meeting with
7600 is disappointing.
Nvidia at the show that I guess I should talk about, right? I
700 billion.
don't know if any of it was on the record, so hopefully this is all kosher. But anywho, basically here's what I think. And this is not anything that anyone at Nvidia said. This is just what I think from talking to some of the Nvidia folks, from seeing what's going on with them on a business level. I think they should split up. I think they should spin off.
There, he dropped it.
Interesting.
Because talking
Looks just like, yeah, that's interesting.
to the folks at Nvidia who do work on the GeForce team, looking at the kinds of unnecessary innovations that they are still bringing to gaming. So they announced a new ultra low motion blur technology that
They've announced a few things.
Yeah. that they claim gets to something, I think there's like 1600 hertz motion clarity or something like that. It feels very because we can make it a little bit better, you know? And that's especially true to me because we have display technologies coming down the pipe that are going to make that level of better image persistence on LCD totally unnecessary, right?
Okay. So it seems like they're still doing... It seems like they're still working on tech that's niche for the gaming market that isn't going to make them a ton of money yet. Which gives Nvidia more of a reason to drop gaming. If they're working on tech that's niche, that's not going to make them a lot of money. This gives them more reason to leave.
And so I'm looking at it going, yeah, these guys in the lab are really trying to crush it here for gamers. And in some ways, I feel like they're kind of getting held back by the expectations that Nvidia, the organization's shareholders, have for profitability. Because GeForce
Waiting for Battle Mage 2, my dude.
Consumer brand with consumer
We'll talk about
margins,
Intel later in this stream.
right?
Obviously, I have a lot of
Nvidia's
thoughts.
data center business or their AI business for automotive, right? Or their
What also surprised me is like AMD is like way more invested into cars than you would ever believe. They make a ton of microprocessors for cars, all the smart systems and everything. That has to have chips, and AMD does a lot of that too. But a lot of the AI tech that's going to be going into like the safety features in cars, Nvidia might be king on that kind of stuff.
embedded products business, like all of these, anything that's B2B.
Yeah,
is
AMD's
inherently
probably going to
to
start
have
investing in
more
AI too. They got to. They're
because
just
your
late.
Customer is making.
The thing about it is like Nvidia's been on AI way longer than any other company has. They've been doing deep learning for years and years. Like before even DLSS really released, they were talking about deep learning. We didn't know what they were really doing with it yet, but like they were already getting that infrastructure. They've been focused on this for a while.
making money on it. Like a new GPU is a burden because all of a sudden there's all these new games that you couldn't play before that now it's time to buy and play.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a burden personally. I mean a financial burden, right? You're not outside of mining, you're not making money on it. But that's a really important point to make because mining is such a great example of how when something makes you money, all of a sudden, even if you are an actual gamer, you're willing to pay so much more for it because it helps offset the cost.
Yeah.
Right? So the kinds of margins that Nvidia can make on something like a Grace super chip are going to look really attractive to their shareholders, and the kinds of margins they can make on some RTX 4060, even if it seems completely unreasonable to you and to me, are going to look really unattractive. And as the proportion,
That's so true. Like they're just consumer products just are never going to make as much money because there's so much more competition. Whereas companies that are going to make a ton of money on this stuff can afford to pay extra for it. If it is profitable, there's not much a reason to get out of video cards. I mean, true. At least as long as it's not getting in the way of something more profitable. But like right now, their cards kind of are getting in the way of AI. Because they could be using those chips to sell for AI instead. Just thought.
portion of this business shrinks on the gaming side and grows on the data center side, their shareholders are going to look at them and go, hey guys,
Hey, all in on this, guys. Hey, money.
Yeah.
should you even be making consumer GPUs anymore, or shipping all the silicon, all the wafers you can get from TSMC or Intel for that matter? That's going to be interesting. Jensen said their next gen.
ROCm is actually more. It's not really AI cores. Well, they do have AI cores in them, but there's no software that really utilizes AMD AI yet, and they're working on that. ROCm is more just like the productivity, like raw performance and like rendering and stuff like that.
Manufacturing node is looking good. Should you just be booking all of it for AI and completely ignoring gaming?
See, this is exactly. Wait, let me back it up.
The silicon, all the wafers you can get from TSMC or Intel for that matter. That's going to be interesting. Jensen
They do
said
mention
the
this.
next gen manufacturing node is looking good. Should you just be booking all of it for AI and completely ignoring gaming?
It's like they can make more AI chips, and people. It seems like they're in really high demand right now. Like people or companies will buy these chips, or at least buy up their service time. So.
And I don't think Nvidia wants to. That's what I wanted to say. Is I think the GeForce team really wants to build great gaming experiences, and I feel like they're a little bit hamstrung right now.
I have for quite a while now. I assume you've kind of felt the same thing. You know when you used to go to nvidia.com and the like main thing was drivers?
GeForce drivers, specifically.
Yeah. Now, like, even if you go to geforce.com, which just redirects to nvidia.com/geforce, there's like the GeForce section, but then there's another banner above that, just like making sure that you don't forget that there's a separation between GeForce and Nvidia, and you can go to the main menu
of
for that,
nvidia.com,
which has nothing to do with GeForce. Even when you're on the
A lot of companies do this as well. They're like completely separated from gaming. Like I'm pretty sure. So there's like the Asus website, and then there's like the Asus gaming website. Same with MSI. They're different departments. Even like monitors and stuff have that. Yeah, but if you go, I've been saying this for a while now, dude. Like you look up. So I use the Nvidia logo for the stream. I've been saying this for a while. You go to Nvidia's website, it's AI right at the top. Like they don't even advertise gaming until like down the page. Yet that's still a large portion of their market.
specific GeForce page, they're like, just in case you didn't need to be here, we've got you.
Product solutions, industries.
For you, whatever that means. Yeah, like I have always felt kind of weird about the Nvidia site for a while now because of that reason.
And this really ties into what I was talking about before, where it used to be that the innovations that Nvidia would build for their data center products would benefit.
Wait, there Asus is ROG is a separate company, but it's not like what's up, Luke? The there is an ROG website and they are different companies, but there's still TUF and there's still like kind of the unbranded gaming components as well. And then there's kind of like the business class stuff from Asus. So there's still like gaming and then business. They like separating that because they don't mix. Okay, obviously that's a consumer entertainment device compared to a business or working device. So the government should subsidize to gamers for a GPU. I mean, they basically did. Dude, they basically did, dude. Like when they went to COVID and they subsidized a bunch of stimulus checks, and I mean, how many people bought overpriced graphics cards with that money?
Benefit gamers would make their way down to gamers.
Yeah.
But we've actually seen wow, I guess the last couple of generations, Volta was an example of an Nvidia chip that was built specifically not for gamers. And then Hopper, I as far as I can tell, is simply not for gamers at all.
Also, think about, dude, Nvidia made a CPU.
It just doesn't have it just doesn't have functional units you need for gaming, because it's laser focused on AI, right? And so we're not gonna necessarily benefit from that.
I know, but it's
R&D
odd. It's still odd than making a
comes
CPU
from enterprise customers and goes towards building a bigger, better GPU that ultimately gamers also get to kind of tag along with, right? And so I don't know if I would like to see it, but I think it could make sense for Nvidia to just say, yeah, this is a spin-off business. It's GeForce.
What I want to see, this is off topic, but what I really want to see is ARM become more mainstream on desktop. It's just like, it's gonna be such a slow build. I mean, M1 kind of forced all of the Apple ecosystem to just like kind of switch over, but I can't do that with Windows. But man, ARM is just better. Other than having to make the transition, I don't see a disadvantage to using ARM. And those CPUs that Nvidia is making are ARM processors. Really, if any company's in a position to do this, is well, I guess no, they made the AI. No, they didn't make it. ARM still made that CPU, didn't they? But if any company's in a position to actually capitalize on ARM in the consumer market, it actually would be a company like Nvidia. One that isn't already invested in CPUs in the x86 architecture, and instead is in a position to try to force some change. But they'd have to be significantly better, which I think just a switch to ARM would easily sway people on the power efficiency and the affordability.
They buy innovation from Nvidia. Essentially, they're a customer of Nvidia, in the same way that a Nintendo would be a customer of Nvidia for the processor and the Switch. And the GeForce team is laser focused on building, great drivers, building great technologies to leverage the hardware from Nvidia. Obviously, they'd work very close together.
We'll talk about Intel drivers.
They wouldn't have the burden of needing to make those same margins, and they could get scrappier, and they could take the fight to AMD. And as Intel ramps up with Battlemage and Celestial, their upcoming architectures, I think they could be more competitive, because at the end of the day, right, every fanboy has gotta understand, you don't want one to win.
Yeah.
Ever. That's not good.
What is, dude, Intel is in such an interesting spot too, because of like Nvidia continues to not focus on their gaming market, Intel's GPUs offer really similar advantages to Nvidia, where they have good ray tracing performance and they have a good upscaler. Like considering gamers, then if they come in more affordable and Nvidia continues to neglect the gaming market and overpricing things, people aren't buying it, Intel could step up. And the fact that they might be doing their next processing node means they might be able to get their chips for cheaper. So think about that. They literally are possibly in the best position to capitalize on something like this. So they might be able to make their chips more affordable than what Nvidia can do.
Whether we're talking the big three, Intel, AMD, Nvidia.
What do you think about Mac Game Metal 3? Those are, I'm hoping that more people can game on Mac. My sister has a Mac. She can't play anything on it. Like I got a laptop. I was thinking about getting a Mac because I love the M1 chips. M2 is obviously good too. But if I ever wanted to play a game or a light game on the go when I'm using this laptop for traveling, can't play a game. So I'm not gonna lie, they broke it for me.
Every single one of them has shown again and again and again that in the absence of I'm very tired. In the absence of competition,
Stagnation.
the first thing they'll do is stop refreshing products and ramp up the price.
That's what. Yeah, anyways, that's literally what they're doing right now. They're not actually producing as many cars right now. They're barely giving a gen-on-gen upgrade and then upping the price to increase their margins, so they don't have to worry about it. It's like they make the same amount of money, but shipping less products.
Yeah.
Let's look for recent examples from each one. Shall we play a game?
Sure.
Do you want to go first, or shall I go first?
Exactly what Intel did to their CPUs.
Pre-AMD
Exactly.
resurgence in the what would that have been? Like 5,000-6,000 series
Well,
range?
this number is key. 4.
Okay.
How many cores did you get?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Four cores forever was a very long term.
That ought to be all anyone needs, Luke.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. That's a
Dude, I wish games could utilize the 12 cores in my CPU. Like, dang. That still doesn't happen. I mean, max is usually around 6 nowadays.
perfect example. And then if we look to AMD, the second Intel didn't have an HEDT, a high-end desktop competitor, AMD simply stopped bothering releasing new Threadrippers, regardless of the commitments that they had already made, not just
This is so
to their
true.
enthusiast and gamer customers,
Threadrippers?
but to
Oh man.
buyers.
Threadrippers are so cool.
That's
Like here's 20 freaking cores. Have fun. Oh man.
TRX 40 or whatever it was called, their last socket, their Ryzen 3000 Threadripper socket. They were just like, eh. It was basically done. There were samples out there. They just decided, yeah,
Why bother?
Threadripper Pro is more profitable.
And this is
So
why.
why bother?
This is why, for years, as we've been rooting for AMD. to
Threadripper is so
push
cool
hard,
though.
We've also been pointing out that they're not like.
The only problem, like legitimately the only problem with Threadripper is nowadays so many software companies have realized if you're doing anything productivity wise, utilize the GPU too. And CPUs over time have become less and less important for productivity. There's probably applications where they still are, but like they're kind of few and far between, if I'm being honest.
You know, the like magically benevolent good guys. There was that campaign that they ran a while ago where they had people with like protest signs at PAX and stuff. Do you remember that?
No,
Oh man,
I don't think I saw that. It sounds cringe, though.
I don't remember the name of the campaign.
It sounds cringe.
It was like resist AM.
Oh man, I'm dying, sorry. Dude, Linus goes to take a bite of whatever his sandwich is. It looks like.
resist Intel's whatever. What if I can find?
I don't know if he ever got used attached.
I think it's probably been like too long. And looking up anything that has to do with
Mining
protests
proves that
is
gaming is a small
lot
market.
of news
Gaming is still a
articles.
huge
So I
market,
don't
though.
think I'm gonna find it. But yeah,
Just
at
isn't
like
that
PAX
profitable.
West back in the day, I remember
People don't want to pay a lot. Like, do you see how everybody's complaining about graphics card prices? Yeah, we're picky. We're picky. We don't got money like that.
like genuine paid actors with protest signs that had like resist blah 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 blah, and it was all AMD branding. And it was all about like buy AMD to resist Intel. It's like, yeah, you guys would do the same thing.
Yep.
I do want you to do better because competition is good, but yeah. Doesn't
Okay, so
necessarily
then
help.
the last one is Nvidia.
Nvidia, I honestly feel like hasn't sat on their laurels as much in a technological sense as the other brands, but they have definitely taken advantage of what they can extract cost-wise
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Yep. I mean, with them, in some ways, they're just kind of smarter about it because they're definitely doing it. And we talked about this when we did our tier list for the best GeForce GPUs, which, by the way, I know I often ask you, have you watched the video? I know the answer is no. You should watch this one.
I skipped through and watched the 8000 series because I cared about that.
You know how many people did that?
Was it a lot?
Well, not the 8000 series specifically, but
Did you guys watch the tier list video? I'd rather cancel marketing GPUs rather than lowering prices though. Yeah, did you guys watch that tier list video? I like they started on stuff that was so old. I was like, honestly, I have no clue what they're talking about, and I ain't old enough.
the retention.
These
part
GPUs
on
came
the
out when I was like
Seatgate
3 years old.
Super weird. We actually had a debate internally before we started working on it for when we should start, because we didn't start at the beginning,
Yeah.
and we could have, because there were only a few generations of GeForce GPUs before the starting point.
Yeah, I went
And
over my head too.
We didn't
I
start
couldn't watch it.
later, so it was actually pitched to me that we start more like way more recently. I forget what the push was, but way more recently, and do far fewer of them.
Part of me also is like, you know, like GPUs and stuff used to like get such like, it's like Moore's law. So like things would get progressed so quickly. It would kind of suck to buy like a top end GPU and then it like instantly becomes like less than a mid-tier card in the next generation. Like, dude, your depreciation was terrible. I mean, I guess I'm not advocating for it being bad right now, but yeah, it's not exactly good though.
And I picked FX, and I forget why. I think the rationale that I provided was it was the first.
The 970 was
DirectX 9
awesome though.
GPU, and I think this is just my own personal biases, because for me, PC gaming really started to get, visually really good looking with DirectX 9. And looking back at it, I think it was just my own personal, that's when I got into gaming. And so we see that in the retention graph for this video, how many people got into gaming with 900 series and 10 series.
Yeah.
Basically everything earlier is like, skip.
Yeah.
Oh, what about this one that I bought that I'm really passionate about? Or that's
Like, who's still like I'm not even like dissing anybody. How many people actually started buying GPUs? Even maybe you knew about them, but how many people actually started buying GPUs back when these really old cards like 200 series came out, and are still interested in exactly everything that's coming out now?
still in my
But we also want to see on the tier list like how our first generation cards hold up. Like I started with 700 series.
gaming rig right now, and I love this thing. I've been using it for years. Isn't that hilarious? Just how few people
That's
cared.
actually wild. These spikes are so wow.
Yeah, really extreme. I've never seen anything quite like this.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. Anywho, what was I talking about again? Right. So with Nvidia, it's been more of a slow boil, and we talked about it a fair bit here. Where starting with the 600 series, this history is really important to understand when you look at Nvidia's pricing strategy and you want to kind of get a better idea of where they're going in the future. So starting with 600 series, Nvidia has code names for their GPUs, and I hate that the word GPU has come to mean graphics card, because
it's not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
A GPU is a
But guess what though? GPU is shorter to say than graphics card. Not as much as a mouthful, so we say GPU.
graphics processing unit.
It is what it is.
A graphics card is a board that contains a GPU, VRAM, power delivery, display outputs. Okay? So the GPUs, they have code names for these, and typically they will have a letter to indicate the architecture, like GK would be GeForce Kepler, or GA would be GeForce Ampere. Okay, so they have a letter and then they have a number.
3200G, nice.
The final digit,
that's base,
the
bro.
lower that digit is, so if it's a 0, that is going to be the largest chip for that series. If it's a 2, that's going to be a smaller one. If it's a 4, smaller. 6, smaller.
Tiny.
I'm trying to remember how high they've gone in the past, but the point is, the higher that number goes, the smaller the actual.
I think they've only ever gone up to 6.
So sometimes you'll see
maybe there was
GeForce
1.8
GPUs that have, let's say one has 5,000 CUDA cores and one has 4,000. But if you dig into, the Tech Power Up GPU database or something like that, you'll find that they're both using the same chip. Well, some of those
the names don't even matter.
Some of those CUDA cores.
Only that matters is the price to performance,
in manufacturing,
which makes it so confusing for consumers.
Turned off to hit a lower power profile, or to create segmentation between two products so that this one doesn't perform too close to the other one. But other times you'll see that two products are using completely different dies, because there's only so many CUDA cores on a die, even if it's perfect, and it only makes so much sense to cut them down before that's just a broken product, and the power profile wouldn't make any sense for this.
They're not really talking about the Mauzik or Maukz. They're not really talking about the I don't even know what to call it. Like the Nvidia is selling anymore. I'll see if they get back to it. I'm not sure if they will.
Oriented products. So that's why you design these different sizes of dies. Finally getting there. With Kepler, that was the first time we saw Nvidia launch a flagship 80 series GTX, product, a top tier product with not the top tier die. Now, we had seen before a top tier die, but with, no, it wasn't the first time. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about that other one later. We had seen
what's up, PF?
Not a top tier die, or we had seen a top tier die, but not all of it. So a slightly cut down one, and that would be due to yields, right? They just couldn't get enough fully working ones to make it economically viable. But we hadn't seen them launch a flagship GPU with a cut down, with a not top tier die, and then we didn't.
I'm gonna watch it time travel
until 700 series. So we got Kepler, and then we got Kepler again. Something we, again, I don't think had actually seen in the past, but that's with an asterisk, because the 9,000.
Yeah.
The 9,000 series was a little bit more complicated.
Is it good though?
8,000 series was awesome. G80. So that's
just don't spoil, but is it good?
0. So that was a big.
I thought the concept in the trailers was cool.
GTX and the 8800 Ultra was kind of usurped by G92, which was a shrunk and just like way more efficient, even though it was smaller die. So the 8800 GT came out and kind of made the GTX look pointless from a cost perspective, and then they tweaked that and released the 9800 GTX, which was not a big die, but there wasn't a big die version. It was just a really weird time for Nvidia, because they couldn't innovate as easily as they had been able to before that, because they couldn't just keep shrinking the manufacturing process. That was kind of where we started to ask the question: is Moore's Law dead? Is GPU innovation
it came back though. That's something that gives me a little bit of faith is like 5000 series and stuff coming out next time. It gets me some hope that, like, I mean, they've been through this before. It seems like so with Kepler. Wasn't really around back then, but they obviously got to 900 series. 700 series wasn't as that good from what I know, but 900 series was really solid, especially with the 970. And then 10 series was amazing. 20 series was kind of crap. 30 series was good. 40 series, crap. 50 series, maybe.
Going to slow down in a big way.
Well, I'll get to your comment.
And that's
just some
the
guys.
same thing where I'm talking about them boiling the frog in terms of slowing things down. There were definitely times when they could have probably pushed harder, but started stretching, you know, how long a GPU generation should stick around for. From, you know,
I think they should stick them around for longer. If they need more time to get good products, just do it. Seriously, my God.
They were launching new stuff like 8.
Their enterprise is doing well.
Same
as it is right now. As their enterprise stuff was doing well then, so it was carrying their gaming market. Same thing right now.
For a bit there, and then it went to a yearly cadence, and then it went to, well, I mean, 18 months is fine, right? 2 years seems okay.
By the way, I found it. It was called the AMD Uprising campaign. The whole thing was about like joining the rebellion and hashtag better red and stuff. It was a weird campaign. I did not like it.
That's kind of odd. Oh, we are in a. Wait, why am I in this? Okay, I was in that. I'm in a playlist.
Drivers.
So let's talk about this. So the main idea that we're getting at is that, well, obviously, well, let's just bring up the stupid Nvidia stock, because why not? I like how Nvidia stock is one of the most searched things when you type up Nvidia now. Obviously, they're not showing it here anymore. They used to show it on the Google page here, and they're like, "Oh, it hit $1 billion, and that's because of AI." So, should they split up GeForce? And I think there is a good argument for it, at the very least. So, sorry, I got a cough. They're not that competitive in the gaming market right now. Obviously, they released a 4060 Ti, literally rotting on shelves. Like, I can smell it from here. Like, Micro Center is like an hour away. I can smell it, dude. They released a 4070, that didn't sell. 4070 Ti, overpriced. 4080, overpriced. 4090 is a Halo product, so it is what it is. But all these cards in this generation, garbage. Last generation, mining. They capitalize on finances, on their profit with mining instead of actually selling it to gamers. So would they be better as a company to split off GeForce, let that team work independently of Nvidia, and then so they don't get distracted from what the other company's doing? Now, how they would work out their manufacturing, I don't know. Who would they sell it to? I don't know. And by the way, thank you, Ivan. I don't know how that stuff would work, but it would be in gamers' best interest to, you know, have, like, I don't know, to have a different company, because AMD isn't putting enough pressure on Nvidia. Nvidia is just like, oh, we're just going to exist. So AMD is just too busy breathing right now, so that they're distracted. So I don't blame them. Breathing is pretty hard, and Nvidia just like doing whatever they want. It's the same thing, literally the same thing as what AMD was doing before with Intel in the CPU market. Until they released Ryzen, that really shook it up. They didn't do anything enough. And then AMD actually has a good competition right now against Nvidia, but it's not enough pressure because they keep launching their cards poorly. So every single time they launch a GPU, they launch it too high of price. And then it gets negative reviews, even though eventually in time it becomes really affordable and a really good deal. They kill it. Like, they kill it before it was even born. They basically abort the product. And it's like, Nvidia needs someone to put pressure on them, or they just won't. I see you guys saying to sell it to Intel. The only problem is Intel's already invested so much in Arc. I would trust Intel with it, actually. They already invested so much into Arc, though. And that is now a brand. So if they were to take GeForce. Yeah. And I know on Nvidia's end, too, they're probably sitting there like, yeah, well, we really want our like gaming as a fallback. 'Cause there's always gonna be gamers. Gaming is never going away. Like, is it different than it's been years and years ago? Yeah. But it's always gonna be here. We always are going to have gaming. So yeah, I'm just doing fine in consoles. I mean, they are doing good. But they also have this like door wide open, the PC market. They're just like not acting on whatsoever. But yeah, so it's in the best interest of gamers for that. And it could be a situation where they're a completely separate company. Say literally like how there's an Asus company and then there's ROG. What if there is Nvidia and then there's GeForce? They're technically independent companies, but they work really closely together most of the time. And that's probably internally what is going on, but maybe it should externally also be shown that way. Because if they try to sell it to a different company, or if they just literally split off, like how Texas wants to split off from the US. No, I forgot my train of thought. If they were to just split off, then their manufacturing process would kind of get lost. Like how are they going to get those chips without actually still working with Nvidia? Don't know. Unless they literally went to a whole different manufacturing facility. What do you mean they're not acting? All best. I don't even know what you're talking about, acting. Share resources or not. My concern is that if Nvidia and GeForce would branch out, they would end up competing with another for silicon. I mean, they would. They would. What's up, Evermore? They would still compete for silicon. I mean, they do have so many other places they can go to. They go to Samsung, they go to Intel. Ooh, what if Samsung isn't that big in gaming though? But Samsung could also be a potential buyer. I mean, they probably have enough money to buy GeForce, I would think. Like, I don't think Intel's in a position to be like consuming other companies. Like, I don't think they got that kind of money right now. Like, Intel's not doing that well. They're not doing that well in the CPU market. Like, they're not going up, you know, or up. They're kind of slowing down. And in the GPU market, things are going so. And seeing things like the 4080 that costed $1,200, which I bought my 3080 for $550 used. But a 4080 costing $1,200, that probably should have been $700. You know, I could definitely see a world where GeForce and Nvidia split up anyways. And to even mention it, dude, it's the same thing with game. Well, it literally is gaming. Gaming should not be like an art, an entertainment. It shouldn't be part of the stock system. It shouldn't be part of money. I know these are publicly traded companies, and it is what it is. Like, they're in that position now. But the minute, dude, like the minute where you prioritize money over the art and the fun of the game, everything goes downhill. Like, do you see the like games getting produced right now? It's money gets in the way. Like, do you see like say like a Redfall that came out, or Overwatch 2 PvE getting canceled, or I mean, there's countless examples, but so many like shitstorms that have happened in gaming because money got in the way of what's actually wanting to happen. Call of Duty, like gotcha games, even like, I know people like gambling and that's basically what that is, but like the actual fun of gaming is being taken away to make money, to make profit. And publicly trading those companies and putting evaluations on them already devalues the art. So the same thing with Nvidia. The money is coming in front of what is the art. So like, what if GeForce split and was a private company, was not publicly traded? I don't know if they could go backwards on that at that point, but if they did split up, I think maybe they could. But like, what if GeForce was a private company and they got to actually just prioritize gamers? Because if they make good products, maybe they won't be as profitable. Make good products at good prices, then they will still be successful. Gaming is always going to be there. People are always going to buy their stuff. It's just serious. Like, I hate the money in this. Like, I know there's like beautiful things to capitalism, and then there's the ugly sides. The ugly sides that sometimes when one is on top, you get the same thing, like a monopoly. Like, they, there's nothing to stop them when money is just that much of a driving force. Same with Twitch too, that just happened recently. Like, I know they reverted on it, but like, they're trying to definitely stop other advertisers on their platform. So I'm gonna try to get through some of these comments because I missed a lot. There's like just enough comments, like I think I can keep up. Which one would you pick, a Samsung or Apple phone? Well, I have Apple, but I don't get phones. I got this for my birthday 2 years ago. APUs aren't the future. There's always the issue of heat. Well, they could be though. I mean, look at the M processors from Apple. Specifically, those Chinese gotcha games. How much VRAM do you think? GTA 6, at least 16 gigabytes easily. The APU issue, yeah. So it seems like APU discussion is going on here. Yeah, but seriously, like, I think money and art just shouldn't combine. Same thing with music too. You want money to be made and given to the artists that make the games, make the music, make everything. But you also don't want it to stop, like prevent it from thriving. So heavy monetization is always shitty. AMD might take over the low mid-tier stuff with APUs. I think they could too. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are about splitting up at this point, because I think it's very possible. This decline in the music industry started with MySpace. Dude, if you have an AP on a laptop that like legitimately is as fast as like a PS5 in your laptop, which the new AMD APUs might be at that point, that's enough for a laptop. You know what I mean? Like 1080p on a laptop is sharp and it's affordable. So yeah. we do not trust the big corpa, and do not get attached to big corpa. Don't fanboy or anything like that. We just want good products at good value. And that's part of the reason why Nvidia is just like, ugh, I don't care about the consumer market because you guys don't make us money, because we don't want to pay that much for that. A lot of consumers aren't so heavily attached to certain companies and just always buy their products. That some of that exists out there, but not that often. So yeah. True. So like Nvidia takes bad PR, GeForce gets good PR. I mean, I guess that would be an argument for them to stay together. If they put out good products, and that makes Nvidia look like a good company in the average person's eyes that don't know the data center side of things. So 4080 will go below $900. Don't know. I mean, obviously, Nvidia is the only company in a position right now to do AI, so I don't blame them for doing what they're doing. It just like makes us think more like, should they just be different companies now? I'm just saying. Okay. There was another video. I was thinking about it. So, kind of transitioning out of talking about this with Nvidia splitting up. Samsung should get into the GPU game, but everybody should just get into it. Screw it. See who comes out on top. That'd be a hell for game devs. And EVGA got out why it was good. I agree. I'm gonna make a video about that with the AIB cards. Okay. So this is another one I was thinking about checking out.
Say it then.
So this is something that Gamers Nexus put out, which was, well, at least this is what they titled it as. So, is Intel actually screwed? Featuring PC World, basically. Asus Force. I don't think Asus could buy. I don't think they're worth that much. So, see how much they go into this. Yeah, I love the intro. This was funny. See how it is. Because obviously right now, as you guys know, I have an Intel GPU in my computer at the moment, the A770 16 gigabyte. So does Intel have a chance? Obviously they can stream. I will say that. Let's see.
Internet, you will.
I don't know if this is the.
You will piss and moan in the comments all day.
I don't know if that's what they talk about for this whole video though.
You will cry about it, scream about it, go on Twitter and Reddit. No,
don't know what
no,
EVJ has been up to, honestly. Power Splice.
And the internet, because I know you right.
They might have just cashed out and said they want to leave.
It's like, yeah, this is like, I only care about value. You know, F you, Nvidia. You know, what's up with the prices?
Hey, Gordon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're in a restaurant. What's up, internet? That feels weird to say. I'm taking Gordon's line. So Gordon from PC World is joining, and we have a really fun topic. Gordon, the question is Intel screwed part 4?
Part 4.
So like, I didn't know, like I remember I saw this video, I was like, wait, who is that? Who's it? Like I've recognized his face, but I didn't know who he was.
Part 4, we've been doing
I never heard him rant
for several years.
So this will be
now.
funny.
We missed a few years because of the pandemic. We're back, but I think the topic today is specifically going to be a discussion on ARC and ARC positioning, because RTX 4060 Ti came out while we've been here. RX 7600. There's been hot topics. Pretty negative, I think, for the most part, at least on our end.
It just makes Intel look even better when everybody else is garbage.
So ARC is suddenly becoming very interesting. And for those who don't know, Gordon's from the PC World channel and website, and I have a lot of respect for Gordon's reporting. He takes a, I think, more responsible journalism approach before he starts yelling at the internet.
Yes, then I start yelling at the internet.
And then it devolves from there. So, before that, this video is brought to you by Deepcool and the new Zero Dark series of AK620 and AK400
Great coolers,
CPU coolers.
by the way.
We previously reviewed the AK620 and AK400 and found them to be among a new crop of extremely competitive coolers for the price. The new Zero Dark and Zero Dark Plus variations move out to a blackout color design with blackout
I'd be willing to
FTD
try
fans.
Intel
The
if
heatsinks
they had
otherwise have
something in
same
the high end.
characteristics as those that we
Me
tested
too.
previously
They need something
and
as
found
fast
to
as
be
at least a
well-performing,
3080 for me
just
to
with
want
a
to
fresh new look.
stick with it
Learn
long
more
term.
at the link in the description below. Question is,
That's hard to do,
broadly speaking, is
especially considering like, do you guys watch the video that I did on the A770? So like, it doesn't perform as fast as a 6700, and it also draws more power too. So like, if they were to just pump more power into an ARC card, it's gonna be cooking. Might draw as much power as like a 4090 to get to the power of like a 3080 level performance.
Intel's
So they have to change the
I would say
architecture.
no. Generally, because
Maybe drivers.
you never say never, but honestly,
You just said it
I
twice.
just said it there twice. Why is it you can't say it then? We have gotten from the original launch, which was, right, I mean, it's the ugliest GPU launch I think we've probably seen in a long, long time. A lot of people thought it was dead.
That
Things didn't work, drivers didn't
It was
work,
dead.
games didn't work,
software was terrible.
performance was subpar.
What's up, Joda? As I said in the comments, let Intel cook. Let them cook. Wait. There we go. Bro, it's just like, who let them cook? Oh, happy 4 a.m. to you.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah. Now, like, even if you go to GeForce.com, which just
Wait,
redirects to Nvidia.
I clicked on the wrong one. My bad. I'm just gonna exit out.
Yeah.
You know, they've iterated on drivers, and now, I don't know, it's hard to tell because I can only go off comments that we've seen. We've done our own testing because we do a driver update on the card and test it every few months.
They do really good. PC World does really good videos on the ARC cards. They really keep us updated in the state of it. And when I'm doing my 30-day challenge on the ARC card, I'm gonna track how many updates they were, because something that's genuinely scary about ARC, and I don't know how often other companies do update their drivers. I don't keep track of that. But the last update was at around the beginning of May. Does that sound like a long time? Like, I think drivers usually come out maybe every other week on Nvidia AMD. That's a long time. I think there's been beta drivers, but this is, as an official release, it's been quite a while. Bro, there's nothing to talk about with RDNA 3, bro.
It's a real competitive card, right? ARC is like,
It's
people really want ARC.
become real. This, by the way, this setup we have, this counter.
Yeah.
I do feel like I do feel like we're concierge. It's that we're back to Gordon's benchmark concierge and valet service.
99 per minute is what I think.
You're
9.99 per
making
minute.
your price lower. If you're not familiar with that reference, go to PC World. I shot a video with them, and Gordon talked about logging into webcams. Something about coins. He costs $10
Maybe.
an hour. I don't know.
What I think about the ARC drivers like taking so long, maybe they're working on Battle Mage right now and they're kind of caught up.
It's on their channel.
Customized benchmarks, though. We run the benchmarks the way you want to run it.
It's a real service. So back to the question. A750 in particular, I was really excited when I saw the
A750.
price drops recently because I knew this video was coming up, and it totally changed my outlook on how to.
Dude, I'm thinking of, dude. Part of me half the time is just like, man, why do I have a 1440p monitor? Like, if I get a 1080p one, there's so many good value cards that can run 1080p natively. But obviously, I mean, 1440p is nice, but it's like, dude, the 750, I'm damn near tempted to get that thing just to test it.
This video would go. I originally pitched we talked.
So it's not a
about
bad
shooting
deal
some
at like,
videos
what,
together. Pitched
$250?
the idea, and it was the 4060 Ti and the 7600 are coming up. But I thought the answer to this is Intel screwed might be they're kind of screwed right now.
Are they working on something else other than
because these two
RDNA 3?
companies are entering the more
don't know.
affordable class finally.
Right.
And then they totally fumbled the ball, in my opinion.
Maybe we'll talk about
And,
AMD after
Intel
this.
drops its price, where an A750 is like $200 on new
Dude.
right now.
ARC has to be sitting here and almost being like the sunken cost thing. Like they have to turn a profit at some point or something. Like this would be such a huge cost. Yeah, Battlemage is probably gonna be more expensive too.
So, I mean, how does that, how do you reconcile the general, let's call it unpredictability of Intel's drivers and games? Can you reconcile that now with the price?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely, everybody that seems to have ARC, they're pretty happy for the price to performance ratio. And at that segment,
Dude, it's just like Steve is just like tech Jesus, dude. Like he just like whips his hair. Do you see this?
yeah, I think so. I definitely, everybody that
See, he
seems
just
to have
whips his
ARC,
hair. He's
they're pretty
just
happy for
Jesus.
the price to performance ratio. And at that segment is the one that's been really the most ignored for the last 3 years. So really, I would think most people like, yeah, honestly, you could buy ARC. There's some people that they're always going to want Nvidia because, you know, Nvidia is the gold standard for GPUs. But
Nvidia's Nvidia.
for somebody who's really looking for value, you're not going to really get that from Nvidia. I know we have 4060 Ti. You reviewed it. We've reviewed it. It wasn't exactly.
I didn't get to check that most recent stream you did, but I saw a top comment where they were quoting you and you said something like 4060 Ti, 3060 Ti, same thing, whatever.
Yeah, I was.
You know the best thing about the 4060 Ti is that it drove down the price of the 3060 Ti. Let's just like check down really quick on eBay. 3060 Ti. You can get them new still, but you can now get 3060 Ti's, which are not far behind the price of a the performance of a 3070. Right, it looks like $270. Like $240? It's an OEM card. It's like, wow, that is a good deal. God damn.
It was a disappointing card, right? Because the performance didn't go up for generation. Pricing is not.
I was just it's like,
it's
would there be a console that's superior to a PC? I mean, technically, every console on launch, at least for, I don't know, about 3 to 4 years after their launch, they're usually better than PCs at the same price. But I mean, they have their advantages and disadvantages. Like, you get a console if you only want a game. It's the best value if you only want a game. It's easiest to set up and everything. But you get a PC if you want to do more than just game. And I think a lot of people want to do more than just game. It's just a lot of people are a little short-sighted with their buying decisions. So, dude, like ever since I got a PC, I've been able to edit videos. I like where this is now.
okay, I guess.
Is
'cause
it fair? So we basically dismissed Nvidia's argument of but DLSS 3. We gave our reasons in the review. I won't bother going through them again. Is it fair to do that? Do you think that as reviewers,
DLSS 3 does
consumers
not carry
of
the
something like
product.
4060 Ti, where it just doesn't generationally improve? Is it unfair to dismiss their but DLSS 3?
I mean, I'm always in interest of having more data because you let people.
I want to
pick it.
try DLSS 3
But,
at some point,
at the
though.
same time, DLSS 3 for a card that is really a 1080p card, the argument is you're going to suffer image quality concerns, and I think it is very fair. And I think the real problem for me for 4060 Ti, I'm more negative on it than I expected, is because there's just so much more choice.
I feel like you are.
You had a $400 price
at,
point.
At times, you retain neutrality a little bit better maybe than I do, where
This is like, they're not really talking about Intel right now, but still interesting. I saw in the comments FSR is as good as DLSS, and what's up, Black Raven? Glad you're back too. Is it as good as DLSS? From my experience, no. It isn't. Like I can see the visual difference. Usually in things like with like small like textures, like if it's like a chain link fence in a game or something, or like a grate or something, like there's a bunch of like lines close together, they're thin. Usually FSR like really messes that up. It looks like this wavy weirdness, but DLSS somehow makes that work with the deep learning. So, and I don't think that's something you can fix with FSR because it doesn't have any kind of deep learning or AI based on it. So FSR is just worse for that. But XeSS actually does fix those problems as well. But it's only really good on Intel GPUs.
I will start arguing on principle if I think the principle pisses me off enough. And I feel like you anchor a little bit better in neutrality. But the fact that you were bothered by the 4060 Ti sent a pretty clear signal to me of like, okay, they actually really did screw this up.
Yeah, because it's just like, I mean, for it to be single-digit performance over 3060 Ti was like...
I want to point out this too. So they are talking about 4060 Ti. Daniel Owen just posted a video. Both the 7600 and 4060 Ti were kind of garbage. Okay, like, but it's like, which one was worse? Well, the 4060 Ti, obviously.
60s.
But this is exactly what happened. So the 4060 Ti versus the 7600 from AMD, the latest GPU from AMD, is about 50% more expensive than the 7600. On average, it's about 20 to 40% faster. You do not get that performance, which makes it not worth an upgrade whatsoever. And the fact that it drops off so much at higher resolutions is just like another nail in the coffin.
Which is a bummer, right? Because you had higher expectations from the other cards in the higher end of the spectrum. And to me, the real hard part for 4060 Ti is there's just so much more choices.
Getting ARC will help us all in the end. Yeah, but also we can't treat ARC like a charity. I mean, they have to deliver something that people actually want to buy. There isn't enough people out there to have enough disposable income to buy a GPU from a competing brand that is objectively worse than the competition, just to support them. I'm saying it like it is. Okay, it's like not all of us are people that would do something like that. In fact, I was actually gonna buy an ARC GPU for the channel, but then Brian actually reached out to me to borrow one. So before I bought it, I was actually about to click the trigger and he sent it to me. So we can't rely on that stuff with gamers. We're just people. And we have our money and we want to spend it on what is going to be the best experience.
3060 Ti still out there. There's Radeons, older generation Radeons that are faster for a little bit more money.
67 XT is great value if it's still around. What about the 7600? Does that how does that affect? Let's ignore Nvidia. How does that affect Intel? A770, A750. So you've got a what, $270 now dollar 7600. Versus a $200 750 and a whatever.
Here's my 6700, by the way.
You know, I think they probably helped the card by lowering the price, right? Because not a fantastic, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I still think like
I just want to see competition.
Like generally, honestly, if you bought a 3060 Ti or 4060 Ti.
Sorry, I'm just living on the edge, guys. I actually hear it like sometimes in my sleep. Like I hear this thing, and I have it sitting on my dresser. And I hear it ticking sometimes. So I just wanted to point that out. But I'm not scared, right?
Didn't make that much of a difference. I mean, there's still times when you would want a 4060 because you have AV1, you have the newer NVENC.
You're a CUDA user.
You're a CUDA user. There are legitimate cutouts, but for the vast majority of just
trying to position myself so I'm centered in the
it
camera.
was kind of a meh launch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and I think the hard part of all this is I know reality is getting a little
I might
bit
put a
back to
shelf up
Intel
there
speed.
actually.
Is I bet in a year when we see the numbers from JPR.
You guys can never see it, but in the background of my setup, this is a little Hollow Knight poster. That's what that is. I could maybe set up one like behind it, you know, on that flat space. Maybe like a little lower down. You know? To have all the GPUs on display. Also somewhere to put them, because man, boxes take up a lot of room. Like my god.
Nvidia, which had 75% market share, their market share will be 74%. You know, it won't even move. It won't. It's like
Yeah.
it's within the margin of error at that point.
Right.
What
And
was,
that was do you know David
what was bro
Cantor?
on?
Yeah, I had an interesting.
That's when the
conversation
ketamine
many years
hits.
ago, when Intel Arc was really just becoming a topic, and I said to David, you know, everybody's really skeptical.
Dude, he saw
of this,
God.
and but at the same time, if you have to do it, it's probably going to be Intel. And how do you? What do you think Intel needs to do to not kill the project? And for those who don't know, David Cantor is
This is what something I'm so scared about though, is like, since Arc is a new product and it hasn't been selling that well, they're literally giving away free A7s 50s in Japan if you buy a 4090. Free. I'm scared that they could cut the product, and people want their, I mean, I would think Intel's enough of a company that has enough morals to support their products, you know, as long as people would actually use them. But I'm just thinking, like, it's another reason why you wouldn't buy an Arc. If that card is going to die, like, they're not going to support it any longer with driver updates or something, say in like 2 to 3 years, because they dropped Arc as a team because it wasn't profitable. That's what's scary. Like, graphics cards are expensive enough to be thought of as an investment.
greatly respect his
I can't talk
technical
about
knowledge. He's
ketamine?
a brilliant analyst,
Oof.
very knowledgeable on silicon. And his answer was, look, Steve, Intel doesn't need to be first. They only need to be second. He said they only have to take market share from AMD. They don't necessarily have to take it from Nvidia.
And that's why Intel is trying to offer better ray tracing performance and a better upscaler. Because I know AMD can't do that because AMD is more focused on making their stuff open source and backwards compatible. But as AMD maybe transitions to working more on AI, they might make a better upscaler. Who knows?
I thought that was an interesting answer. And
Yeah, you
do
might have
think
wasted your
that
money.
is
That's what's scary about
where this
Intel.
battle is playing out? If we have A750, A770, we've got 3 vendors. Is it a false?
That's one of the reasons why it's hard to just say, hey, buy an Intel card. Seriously, like, that's telling people what to do with their money. And they don't have the history. They don't have the history of a company like AMD, the bomb, you know? That they don't have that.
It's not a dichotomy because there's 3 of them, but a false trichotomy, is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not an English major. But is it a false choice to say Intel, AMD, NVIDIA? Is it actually just Intel, AMD, and then if you have more money, you're NVIDIA?
Yeah, I agree.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Again, internet.
NVIDIA has the top end. If you're spending the most, you want to get the best. So NVIDIA wins there. They have the best, like, support across all apps, all software. They have all that, and then they also have best ray tracing performance, best upscaler. They have frame generation. They have the most integration into games. A lot of people will say the best drivers. I don't really think it's that far off from AMD nowadays, but
You will disagree. You will piss and moan in
69
the
viewers,
comments
nice.
all day.
oh
You will
god,
cry about it, scream about it, go on Twitter and Reddit, and no, and then you go to buy your Nvidia card. And they know that. They know you will go and buy. I know you're going to say, oh, but I've seen numbers that the cards aren't selling, they're backing up. In the end, the one thing we don't know is it backing up for everybody. And I just, having seen Nvidia, and when you're the number,
I think in general too, just people aren't buying cards right now. And he's speaking straight facts. Like, as much as people bitch and complain online, still go and buy Nvidia almost every single time. It's sad, but it's true. They still have the leading market share, even though it seems like they're a little bit scared of 6000 series from AMD. Eventually that stock's gonna dry up, and then Nvidia will be on top again. Like that's just exactly how it'll go.
Number one, and people associate gaming with Nvidia. It is really, really hard to get people to change minds. And Adam actually had a really good point because
Technically, AMD is the best value for gaming.
before even 4060 Ti came out, you had some Radeons that were way better for value and performance. Nobody bought them.
Sure.
Did not change market share because they want Nvidia. Because
Let's look at this real quick. See, this is one of the sad things. Like, do you guys remember the RX 480, RX 580? Some of the best cards from AMD ever. Where do these stack up on the Steam hardware survey? How far down is this? I have no clue. They're all the way down here at 1% of the market. The most popular card that AMD has released in recent history is only 1% of the market share. Whereas the card that it directly competed with in that generation, the GTX 1060, is at about 5% right now. Yeah, the Steam hardware survey isn't 100% reliable, but it gives you a good idea. And I'd be interested if I could somehow, like, maybe it's out there somewhere, to trace all the way back to when these cards actually came out and then see how they compared back when they dropped. How much market share did a 580 have at that time? I'm just going to say, this was one of the best cards AMD has ever released in terms of value. Still nobody bought it. Still nobody bought it.
Nvidia is still in that point where, remember on CPUs.
So what does that say for Intel?
It didn't matter that Ryzen was kicking the ass of Core all day. No one would buy AMD because, you know what? Intel has always worked for me. It's reliable. It's safe.
It's hard to break.
I'm going to buy this 7700K for $360.
Right.
Okay. You know.
I think it's really.
That is so true. So, do you guys remember when Ryzen released, productivity-wise, gaming-wise, it was not matching Intel. Productivity-wise, offering more cores at a lower price was destroying Nvidia, and then not Nvidia, Intel on the CPU market. It still took them all the way until 5000 series, but before they were a actual threat to, with like the market share on the consumer productivity CPUs. I'm sorry, I know just some guys asking questions about other cards and stuff. We're focused on Intel right now, so that's what I'm sticking to. I don't want to get off too much on track.
It's hard to break that, where a lot of people in the enthusiast audience, the segment we cover, it's easy to get tunnel visioned on. You forget that you may be more aware of your options and maybe more willing to experiment with options than the greater market. People who don't know who either of us are and walk into Best Buy. What is it you call them? Blue shirts?
Blue shirts, yeah.
Blue
I have a
shirts.
Best Buy shirt. Bought for Halloween. I want to go into one day.
For
Walk
Halloween.
around the
Wearing
store,
it?
giving
I
advice.
look forward to bailing you out of jail.
Oh, I know. Could you like?
We should
People
do
have done that, by the way, and they got kicked out. They got kicked out by security. Walk in with a Best Buy shirt and try to act like they're an employee.
that. We should.
He probably knows way more about computer components than any Best Buy employee does.
Adam, can we do that? Can we follow Gordon into a Best Buy?
Yes.
Can we get him arrested?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
You
we
go
get
with
him
those,
arrested?
They go like,
That you got arrested?
who's the new guy? I don't know. Seems kind of old, doesn't he?
Must be from corporate.
Yeah, must be from corporate.
Everyone better be on their best behavior.
He's probably like that boss program where they have an exec come in like,
Hello,
hello,
fellow."
fellows, high schoolers.
So yeah, when you walk into a Best Buy and you're talking about people who don't really have any of the enthusiast mindset.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our concerns don't present themselves, and it does just become, well, Intel's always worked well for me, and it probably, I think you can make this argument maybe for airlines, cars, like any industry where you're spending a good amount of money on a thing.
Right.
You want something reliable. And that's why this isn't Intel, but AMD. That's why why AMD needs to take market share from Nvidia right now at their best opportunity. Because once you get people on your cards and realize, hey, they're actually good, then you can start to build up this reliability, this confidence that when people buy your products, they're going to be happy with it. But right now, like AMD doesn't have that, and Intel's going to struggle to get that too, especially because they actually aren't reliable right now.
People are, why would you play with
But I will
cans
like to say I've been
if-
streaming on the Arc card this whole time, and it has been going well. So I'm glad we haven't crashed. I will say that.
last time it worked fine. Like maybe there's something better, but if it works fine and it's expensive,
Right.
maybe they just stick with it.
I mean, and AMD's perfect example.
Yeah,
because
well,
Radeon
AMD
is given just
AMD does the
so much
Alter
more
software,
performance,
the
much more
AI
value
stuff.
for the money, and their numbers actually went down
Right.
because Intel's eating into AMD market share.
By the way, where was this at $200? Where was this? Because this is a deal. What's up? I don't have any bun. Intel cards are geared towards video encoding. They are too. They offer, although that value proposition isn't there as much now, because now there's a 7600 from AMD that has AV1 encoding. So where was this? Like, where was this deal? Because this is crazy. This is as much as technically what a 6600 costs, but decently faster than it, and has AV1 encoding. Probably a little less power efficient.
Right. So then for Intel, what does the future look like, you think? Do they need to launch? Actually, I have some thoughts on this. I want to hear yours first.
I want to see, like, Intel. It really is? Intel Arc A750 on Newegg? So with like a coupon? Maybe it's not there anymore. Because if it's that kind of price, compare it to other stores. It's $250 everywhere right now. A week ago.
Does Intel
Fire sale to steal some market share away from the 7600, seeing that the 7600 was a bad deal. They're like, hey, even if we're not even going to profit on these cars that are sold, we need to sell 750s right now. I don't blame them.
Launch a high-end product. Right now they have an A380, which kind of disregard it, but it is a low-end option.
A380, like if you want AV1 at a cheap price, then yeah. But if you could get a 750 for $200, that makes the A380 at $140 just like not even reasonable. That card is so much slower.
A750, their high end is kind of mid-range for everyone
I know, but
else.
it would also cost $60 less than $70 less than the 7600.
Do they need a 4090 or 7900 XTX competitor from two perspectives? For the customer, for performance, or for call it mind share on the market?
Yeah, they kind of
I
are
would
bad
say
value.
no. You know, and I would actually, interestingly, I think we thought AMD should have gone higher to meet Nvidia with 4090 at the time. Realistically, I don't think Intel's in any position to try to fight with the 4090 class card.
No way.
That card is just so beyond everybody, and also so expensive.
It's actually insane. Like if you look at
The 4090 is legitimately a really good card. The only good thing coming out of this generation right now is the 4090. I'm saying that with full confidence. The second closest decent thing is a 4070 or maybe a 7900 XTX, but like again, the 4090, 7900 XTX, they're all over $1,000. They're good cards for the price, but they're like, who's buying it?
charts, the gap between a 4090 and a 4080 and an XTX in say a 40.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to have to completely slash their margins. So Brad says, I don't see how Intel is going to have a future in this. They need to increase some cards with incredibly small profits or whatever to build a customer base. They just need to get people on it. Yeah, I agree. The same thing that AMD needs to do. They just need to get people on it, even if they do take a hit to their margins right now. You can't afford to increase margins when nobody's buying your product. The only company that is in a position to do that is Nvidia right now. People are still buying their products, even though their margins are at like 70% right now. Seriously. Most other companies have about 50% margins. And those margins, I think, account for like being able to make drivers and stuff in the future. Like, you have to pay for that.
This time.
Yeah, I don't think they have to, and I don't think it would work because they would have to make, because their brand isn't as valuable as Nvidia's brand still. It's not trusted. So they would have to give you more performance than a 4090 for less money. I mean, that's just like setting you up for failure.
Yeah.
So I think they need to have
AMD has like a
solid
50% margin.
card. They can
Usually
still
on
play
their cards.
against the prices for Nvidia and AMD. Probably less for AMD because they might be more competitive with AMD than Nvidia.
But that might be just on their
I think
chips that they
just
sell
can-
to their
they can pick
AIBs.
their victories where they can and just kind of build up the trust in Intel because it's
Yeah.
still not there. I mean, hell, it's 1,000% better than at launch.
Right.
Because honestly, right now,
Right.
if you went out and bought an A750 for $200, for most people, it's going to run fine. You'll be able to play the games you want to play.
And for launch, you can't divide by 0. So like,
Yes.
there's a lot of instances it just was broken, or especially pre-launch review stuff where you have game.
I completely agree. It's like the average person buys it, you're honestly not gonna have a problem. You know, the problem is that it's not better than the other brands on reliability. But most people aren't gonna have a problem. And any problems that I had with crashes on the Intel card, like all I had to do was restart the game, like, and it was fine. Didn't have to worry about it. But I don't think that many people care about. They're like, oh, my game crashed. Okay, I'll just click on it again. Like, seriously, it's that simple. People are fine. It's not like it's breaking your computer.
Games that don't launch, you got black screen problems, you have software.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Like, Intel's not out there enough that people are even going to consider it yet.
That is not only
People are only just starting to consider AMD cards.
sometimes built incompetently with no awareness of how a person interacts with a computer, but also it's just broken. And they've fixed a lot of that. So like, to Intel's credit, it's actually, and we keep commenting on this in the Nvidia and AMD stuff. Do you feel, so how do you feel about this statement? One of the comments we've been making is that when the companies are close, let's say a 7600 is like right next to a 770, whatever.
Okay.
When they're close, I feel like there's more gas in the tank for Intel to boost that performance than especially Nvidia and maybe AMD in the form of drivers. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I agree because they keep. I mean, again, like you said, you're starting at 0. every improvement is better. It's like, okay, well, you know, a D- is still better than an F. So there's, I mean, that's why, because it's hard.
Passing grade.
It's hard not to make that joke at Intel's expense because it launched so poorly. But at the point they're at now, everything's actually pretty good, decent, and there's still room for improvement, right?
So one of the, I think, more interesting questions for you, you've been in the industry a while, you have a lot of experience reporting on these companies. Here's what I'm worried about.
Was bro looking for somewhere to sit when there's like 30 chairs open? It was actually yours and Linus's video that got me to try an AMD card. Wait, my one on the why AMD is so great but nobody buys them.
I look at how Nvidia and AMD, especially right now, market their products.
I made that video before I even had an AMD card.
And
That's
every
great.
now and then you look at what they're doing, and it's like, could you please just shut up and just let the product sell itself, stop making it worse, and just get your foot out of your mouth. Intel right now, and I feel like Intel has always done pretty well with this. They're keeping a more traditional corporate, not trying to make a rock star out of the product or the people, and they're staying kind of quiet. And my fear,
It's a good move on their part.
either add to this anxiety or take away from it. My fear is that
About used graphics
Intel
cards?
will say,
Ah,
hey,
okay.
we
About
can
the
do
GPU
some
deals?
catchy
I really like that
marketing
video. Sadly, it didn't do as well as I thought it would.
Nvidia and AMD
Some
while
good
they're
takes
down
in that
right
video,
now.
though.
People hate them right now.
I'm thinking about
Start
getting the
getting shots
5700
down.
XT to test it.
You know, I think that glass wall over there isn't too structural. Maybe we could throw a rock through that one.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on?
I don't think they, after that launch and the build up to this launch, and
It's actually, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's actually Nvidia and AMD crying in the background right now.
they're crying about the prices right
Yeah.
now. So I don't think it's in Intel's right now with the nature that they're not going to. I think they've realized we got to keep our head down, keep giving better products. The card sells themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I wish the video
They
did
don't
better.
really need to market any of that. And trying to go out of there and try to be clever, it's probably going to backfire.
Which AMD card did you get?
So I think if they, and again, it's not like it's Intel. Although traditionally Intel is not marketed that way. They're definitely more corporate. They're more buttoned down. They
Yeah.
don't take cheap shots necessarily.
Other than
I agree with this. Intel definitely takes a lot more of a professional side to their marketing. If you saw, like, AMD can be pretty petty when it comes down to their stuff. That's interesting. 7900 XT. It's not that bad right now. It's a solid deal. But like AMD, seriously, there were, like, you know, the melting power connectors and the higher wattage on the 4090. When they announced the 7900 XTX, one of their main marketing points was like, oh, it's 8-pin connectors. Oh boy, it's the same as it's always been. Cool, that's really petty. And they also do corny marketing. Is like, bro, like, they're talking about 8K gaming. Like, who cares about 8K? Like, we gave up on that a while ago. Who's at a desk PC gaming on an 8K monitor? Literally no one. You can count them on one hand.
on the glue.
Other than the glue, but I mean, you know, there's arguments that it was for engineer, but yeah, I mean,
Right.
you know, they got a little frisky with Apple for a while, making fun of Apple when Apple split. But honestly,
Yeah.
I thought it was okay because, you know, when they have a breakup as bad as that, it was okay. But they generally
The Nvidia
they
Apple
just
thing.
don't like to be that frisky. So I don't think they're going to do it with Arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, maybe if it got to the point where like they could legitimately give you 40
Ryzen's been good, though.
for $800, you know.
Right. Sure. Then.
I mean, but that's like fantasy. So
Right.
Then maybe you do have to like puff up your chest a little bit or something. But I don't think they would do that. And
Yeah, I feel like it's. I really hope Intel doesn't try to get funny with their marketing. I hope they don't try to play to the enthusiast crowd. It's a smaller audience.
and there's something
It was already goofy. What's funny too is I think Intel is taking the wrong angle. Like, I know Nvidia has the market share, but when they did their stuff and they introduced the 770 mainly, and they were showing how it compared to the RTX 3060. I don't think it was the Ti. I think it was just the 3060. And they were going after Nvidia because the 3060 was overpriced at the time. So they're like, oh, well, we're faster than that card, but we're cheaper. So that was a decent marketing position, but their real competition is AMD. Because people are just going to buy Nvidia. So you have to try to start from taking market share from AMD and put actually pressure on AMD, surprisingly, even though they don't have as much market share. So they just, like, with their marketing, it was already a little goofy. They just straight up ignored AMD. It's like the 6600 XT didn't exist. And that card was already going for $250 and was about as fast as the 770 at 350 or 400 or whatever they're pricing it at.
to be said for not being in the headlines.
That's true.
Because the only thing people remembered
Right.
was when the A770 came out. Planes started like smacking on the runway. There's flames coming out to the engines.
It depends how much, like, Brett, like, is petty marking a bad idea though? It's like, it can be or it can't be. It depends how bad whatever they're talking about is. Like, how uniform is the opinion against it? then you can for sure be petty and you know it's going to be successful. But it could also draw buzz to the company and then build them a negative reputation. Like, hey, they're just clout chasing. Like literally, that's what it would be at that point. So it can be good, but I wouldn't rely on it. It also makes you look a little immature.
People were saying, "Oh my God, I want to get off this plane," and it was the ugliest thing ever. And that's really probably what is still in a lot of people's minds.
Right.
And what we have today with ARC is a really competitive
What's up, gamers?
GPU, giving value to people in that price range. How the hell do you get people to pay attention to you now? All they remember is your shitty launch. So how
First
do you?
impressions matter a lot. Yeah.
So do you like go out and you do something just to get people to talk about your product?
I actually just spoke to someone from Intel about this.
Dude, AMD has even less than 30%, I think. Let me check this still. They're at more like 10%, actually, because this is also integrated graphics and stuff. Maybe not 10%. Maybe it's more like 12.
Probably your contact as well, Ben. The reason I messaged him was because it was following the publication of the 7600 and the 4060 Ti reviews. And I messaged him and I said, hey, please get through to your marketing team that you guys need to just like keep doing what you're doing, which is, you probably get these too, but they'll send out these small emails of, hey, we updated the drivers,
Right.
Here's what changed. And that's it. They give you some percentages,
Right.
they tell you the games, and they back off. And if you want to cover it, great. If you
It's
think
cool.
it's interesting, great. But they're not here trying to.
I like that approach. It's like the same approach. You know, like some of the best devs, like game developers on the planet, it's like Riot, you know? Like Riot just keeps putting out really good games. I hope they don't go downhill. I mean, I don't play their games personally, but from what I've heard, their games consistently are good. It's like how Riot literally just shuts up. They do not talk. Okay? And they make their games, they hunker down, they announce it, and they just don't talk. And then it releases and everybody loves it. But it almost feels like if you so heavily are marketing towards people and you're constantly telling them every single thing you're doing, getting you hyped up for something that may or may not happen, and then you set all these expectations and then you consistently let people down. Look at Blizzard right now. Look at Activision in general. That's what the position they're in. So if you look at a company like Intel, it kind of gives me more hope, but it also makes me scared at the same time that they are just hunkering down. They're not talking. They're just working right now, and they're going to make the best product they possibly can, and they don't want to set our expectations too high. But the reason that scares me is because we don't even know if this thing's going to be canceled, because there has been a lot of rumors that it is canceled, like Battle Mage is done or something. Moore's Law is Dead said that, but he's usually pretty cynical, so I don't really know exactly.
like sell it to you as a reviewer.
So I like that Intel is
I
doing
think
that,
that's
though.
a good approach where it allows the story to develop on its own organically without
Through the
this,
grapevine.
like, weird corporate influence that can start to backfire and create, as we talked about in your video, expectations that can't become reality.
Right.
So,
But sometimes the reason why people post stupid ass videos on TikTok, doing dumbass things, walking into a Best Buy trying to pretend you work there,
Oh, he saw that.
is because
Okay.
now people are talking about you. So I honestly, you do wonder if like you do something stupid just to get in the news, is it worth it? Because, you know, again, it's really hard to.
See, it's a little interesting too, is like Nvidia did release something stupid with the 4060 Ti, but that press is negative because it's not just like something that doesn't affect anybody. It's, oh, that's funny, it gets you in the news. But like the 4060 Ti is genuinely a bad product and nobody's going to buy it and they're going to lose money on that.
break into somebody just buying an Nvidia card because that's what they've always bought.
so is it AMD that's walking into the Best Buy or Nvidia?
I think it'd probably be maybe Intel, and you dress up
Intel.
and they try to like, I don't know, because I just
Because
feels
it's
like
blue.
because you want to. I mean, the sad thing about today's world is, if you're not in the headlines, people are not thinking about you, and all they can remember is the bad publicity. I think a lot of people covered
So
it
you
well
should
enough.
create more bad publicity.
It's a crappy world.
Because of your option is no publicity or more.
Yeah, it's another situation like with say like Overwatch 2 PvE is like they hunkered down and they were making PvE for what 2-3 years or whatever, and or actually like 4, and then all of that just got dumped down the drain basically.
Or recent bad publicity.
It could be a little scary though.
I guess you choose that one.
They say this.
It's either like, oh, they're choosing not to show us the news to not set expectations, or they genuinely don't have news. Don't know.
Thing is bad publicity, except for actual bad publicity. But I do wonder how in the world does Intel get itself into the mind of people? But everybody knows it's there, but I don't know.
Okay, he did just say something. He said everybody knows Intel's in the market. I don't know if that's true. I should probably change the title of stream, by the way, because we're not actually talking about that anymore. Does Intel Arc graphics cards have a chance? There you go. I changed title. But I like the average person. The average person, I don't think know Intel really exists in the GPU market. I don't even think the average person that even goes to PC gaming knows what half the components in their computer is. Seriously. Shelly, if you want to go back to see what the whole conversation was about Nvidia dropping GeForce, just rewind the stream. We talked about it before. That's what's beautiful about YouTube live streaming. You can just rewind it.
What you do, and that's really hard. You know, again, we've done our testing, you've done our testing. The card is, you know,
it's like everybody in this chat is a nerd. I'm a nerd. You're a nerd. We're all nerds. We know about this stuff, but we're not average. Like we know way more than what people are. Like I've talked to people even playing games and asked them, do you know what GPU is in your computer? I didn't ask it like that, but like, do you even know what a graphics card is? Most people don't even know. And then they're like, why does my game run so slow? It's like, cause you're literally on Intel HD graphics.
a really good value for people.
And
the internet, because I
it's
know
true.
you
Like
right now.
Every single one of those people doesn't even know what Intel is. And if you get into like PC components, the first thing you learn about is Nvidia. Like, oh, graphics cards, Nvidia.
It's like, yeah, this is like, I only care about value. You know, F you, Nvidia. You know, what's up with the prices in this?
Gordon,
Oh, I'm sorry.
we're in a
Steve.
restaurant.
That's HD.
I don't want to end up being arrested by the Best Buy police. What I'm saying is, you get in there and you talk on
They're Best Buys in Taiwan.
you talk all your
Actually,
stuff,
though,
and
probably
then
not.
you end up buying the Nvidia card.
So is Intel
But it's
screwed
HD. It's supposed to be good.
right now?
I will say,
Yeah, I got my oh. If it has GTX in the name, it's supposed to be good. So I got a GT. That's like most of it, right? So like I got a GT 710. That should be a good card, right?
no. I'm leaning toward no, because
It was only $50. Like what a deal! I got Nvidia.
the other thing that's still in there, that's always going to hang over Intel's head, unfortunately, is Intel going to kill ARC?
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
to me, like honestly, if we didn't have all that series of like, oh my God, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. If everybody felt like, yeah, you know, Intel's going to keep doing this, I feel okay about it.
Yeah.
72%.
No matter what, that is always going to be there. Do you think that should bother people?
I think if the product makes sense right now, today, for your build, and it's not going to bother you if support vanishes. For example, if you're maybe a short-term user.
Exactly what we were just saying, like in chat and everything. It's like, if you don't worry about long-term support, maybe Intel is fine. Like I'm genuinely didn't mention that in the Intel video I made, but seriously, like this could just, you know, it could just all disappear.
2-3 years, whatever. I don't think it should bother you if it's the right choice today, because who cares if it's not around in 5 years when you're not using it anymore. I think for someone who needs long-term support, it should bother them. I don't think you should subsidize or kickstart Intel and just buy it to help them out, because it's like, I guarantee you, Intel has more money than you and everyone else watching this combined. So it's like, they don't need the Kickstart.
Except for Jensen who's watching. It's
Except
like,
for
not
Jensen.
Me, not me.
He's like, nah, I'm a
Maybe,
trillion
I
dollar.
don't know, maybe
Oh, I just realized that Intel isn't at the $1 trillion valuation, but Nvidia is. Isn't that crazy?
Pat Gelsinger's watching it. He's probably okay.
Does
But-
Nvidia deserve to be a $1 trillion company? I don't. In my opinion, I genuinely don't think so, because it seems like they chase whatever is this like crazy profit thing going on at the time. Like they chased mining and now they're chasing AI, like in recent memory, and they're really driving up their valuation. But how long can they keep chasing trends before their valuation is probably gonna tank? I don't think they can. Yeah, that's exactly what Sigma's saying.
For everyone buying the parts, you don't need to kickstart them and just buy it if you actually think it's worth buying.
So you, I mean, to me, like that's actually worth reiterating, because, you know, there was very public predictions that ARC was dead. You came out, your sources said it was no.
Yeah,
I've talked to about 4 or 5 other really switched in journalists who said no as well. So generally, you think ARC is, you're still going with that? I mean, no.
I mean, going with that, maybe a little bit of a loaded phrase, but I think there is no evidence to suggest otherwise right now.
Okay.
Which is about, yeah, it's a weak answer, but I think it's the most accurate answer I can give.
Yeah.
What is he
I
talking
think
about?
The other thing that's worth saying too is
I missed the beginning of this or something.
Man, and the AMD and Nvidia back there,
Yeah.
really upset.
They're
Really
very.
upset with this video.
Oh, definitely. They're still upset about the price. I think that thing that I think should be said in Intel's defense too is, even if you still have that, oh, I'm afraid they might kill it, which
Yeah.
again, we're saying all evidence indicates that's not going to happen. Intel in the past on products that they have canceled has been very stand-up, and you will get drivers for quite a while.
Typically, yeah.
Typically,
Okay. It's good to
generally,
know.
far beyond the length you should be using that product.
It's not
So I
like
think that's-
Google where they flip a switch and it's gone.
Yeah, oh my God.
So,
That's true. Google is just like, hey, goodbye Stadia. Hey, goodbye Google Glass. Hey.
that's your answer. Is Intel screwed? We're going to pack up and get out of here before security comes and finds us, because Gordon started screaming F you in the middle of a restaurant. So thank you all for watching. Go subscribe to PC World. They have a website as well. Check it all out.
Shout outs to
They've got
PC World.
great
Shout
stuff
out to
over there.
Gamers Nexus.
And Gordon, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Steve.
And we'll see you all next time. Okay.
Oh, you're right. I got too excited.
Nvidia joined.
Stadia lasted.
Say it then.
I don't know what Shelly's on about. See where that goes, I guess. But seriously, like Intel, I would say, has a chance. And Steve was kind of saying at the end here, where it's like, oh, you don't need to Kickstarter them. They have the money. So you don't have to buy the product. Like if you think the product's good, then you could buy it if you want, like genuinely. And that's how it is. And that's how I tried to phrase it in my video, is like the product is okay. Like, but it's not as good a value as the competition out there. Like AMD's offering better value at the same price or even lower price. And Nvidia is at least on par right now, actually. I didn't compare it in the video, but yeah. That it's hard to justify Intel at the moment. So if we're sitting here, if they actually want to be in this market, they actually want to be in the graphics card market, if we don't buy their product, they have to make a good product that we want to buy. So at the very least, if they want to be in it, then they should produce something better eventually. My diarrhea is real. Shelly, if you don't want to be here, just leave. Don't like you sound like an internet troll. So if you don't want to be here, just leave, or I'll ban you from chat because we're discussing something here. So just leave. So Intel, it does make a decent product right now, and I have enjoyed the Arc so far. And since the video, I haven't experienced any other crashes, and at $340, it's not bad. What's up? Oh, Gabron. Talking about Intel and see if they have a chance in this market. Unfortunately for live streams, I would say that I could change the thumbnail, but I don't think you can change the thumbnail on YouTube live streams. So, you know, we're stuck with the thumbnail that's about Nvidia, even though we're talking about Intel. But yeah, again, I brought it up earlier, but it genuinely kind of concerns me that Intel's last driver update was May 5th, and it seems like they haven't been updating it. I don't know. And it seems like their biggest audience right now is probably people who want like content creation side of things, because they offered AV1 at a cheaper price and they have better AI cores than what AMD offers. But also AMD is starting to release their budget cards that have that kind of stuff. So it's like, meh. By the way, thank you, Tainted. Cool channel, man. Sub for 3 weeks now. On God, bro. Respect. But I have overall enjoyed my time with Arc, and I've been, by the way, have you guys, it doesn't say I've dropped any frames. I know in the video I said that there's some encoding problems every now and then, but that's usually when it's under heavy load. But yeah, it hasn't dropped any frames on this stream, and I'm recording and streaming at the same time. So it's not bad, and I actually can respect it for some degree. And they did make a surprisingly good product for one generation. They seriously made a competitive product, and sadly they've had to reduce the price quite a bit in order to hit like anywhere close to AMD. They chose to ignore AMD in their marketing, even though AMD was obviously what? Shelly? Like, Shelly's going crazy. Bun says, love your content, by the way. Hope that you also cover older AMD cards or Nvidia cards against newer stuff. It'd be neat to see. I don't really have that much more to say on Nvidia here, so I don't want to talk about that. I wanted to get a 5700 XT to test that. I mean, I'm doing the Arc challenge right now, but like, you know, I'll have to, you know, swap out my Arc card or something for like a little bit to try a 5700 XT, because that's a good deal right now on the used market. And then I wanted to try the Vega cards. I was thinking about Radeon 7, but at least Vega, because I'm just thinking of cool video ideas. Like the Vega cards is like, oh, that was the last time we cared about. The last time a graphics card manufacturer cared about video, like VRAM bandwidth. What are those things on the sticks in the back? I have no idea. Oh, I would show you if I could, but I cannot. Show you what this is. So if you did notice, I can do smoother B-roll shots. If you guys know what a gimbal is, this is a gimbal. I bought it on eBay for $100. It works really well. So my B-roll shots have been better, a lot smoother. And if you want a gimbal, you can get really good ones for like $100 on eBay. They came out in like 2016 or 2018. Really good products. But yeah, highly recommend. I can't show you it working because I'm using my camera right now to record. Like, I kind of want to keep Shelly in chat just to like, because it's funny. But I'm also just like, should I ban? I don't know. Sounds a little mentally deranged, like a feral animal or something. I don't know. It's kind of funny though. Yeah, I mean that's mostly what I had to talk about. I wanted to know, do you guys want me to test any games on Intel Arc really quick? Because I did officially get Cyberpunk. I was thinking about testing it on stream really quick because that would be interesting. And I downloaded Cyberpunk and it made me realize Metro Exodus, well, I can maybe get that. It's just Cyberpunk. For real. It's like, if you guys want to see how this is, because like, think about this. You get 16 gigabytes of VRAM. Dinner with Jay-Z or $10 million. If I'm being honest, like, I didn't really grow up listening to Jay-Z. So I'm not like crazy about it. And then I would easily say $10 million, because you can just invest $10 million and live on it for the rest of your life. Yeah, but Cyberpunk made me realize that I need to get sorry, excuse me, a bigger storage drive for my games, because like I need to test all these games, and each game is like 70 gigabytes. Okay, so let's try so here's Cyberpunk. I'll get which I just got one of the Metro games for free, complete edition. Does that include Exodus? Because I think I have Exodus as well. Is Exodus in this, or is it just Last Light? It's only 9 gigs. This will probably run fine. After playing Cyberpunk, I don't have Halo Infinite. You know, let's do like Halo. How many people play Doki Doki? Dude, I want to play games on the stream, but I don't know if I should do it on this channel. I was thinking about making a separate channel that's kind of like not only tech focused, but like kind of like general things, but it wouldn't be as upkept or as highly edited and stuff as the main channel. I mean, I might get Halo Infinite real quick to download. We could test that. I haven't tested this on the other card, so I can't compare it against it. But yeah, I'll get it download. How big is this game? It's only 45 gigs. It's not that bad. What were those older games on, like Halo Reach? I think I would make a separate YouTube channel and just start to shout it out in my main videos. Because if I stream games on this channel, I deadass don't think people would watch it. And that's no offense to you guys. It's just like, I don't think anybody really cares. You know, if I'm being honest. So, the only problem, I'm gonna have to limit my download speed while we test this. Which I'm gonna go to my main cam. I don't think it shows my IP address. Can it run Binding of Isaac? Is it hard to run? I have no clue. It's like cell shaded. Why isn't this game launching? What's happening? What happened to it? Something. Did I break something? Wait. By the way, what is your guys' favorite anime? Because this is like, if it can run Doki Doki, you're all set. Well, I just need to get to the part with Monica on it and just stay on it for eternity, right? So I've never launched Cyberpunk before, so let's see if this crashes the stream and breaks my computer. Oh, that'd be interesting to try emulating on it too. On the Intel card. I need to get a bigger SSD. I think I want to get like a 2 terabyte one for games. Dude, what is going on? Do you see this? Yeah, because like this game has Edge Runners as an anime. Like League of Legends basically has an anime too. Yeah, I hate when you double up the launchers as well. CD Projekt Red has it for all their games. So is my SSD just slow? Is that what's... It's not crashing. Okay, is the resolution messed up? By the way, let me know how audio is when I get into the game. Okay, I think our resolution is completely messed up. It's kind of loud on my end right now. I'll turn it down once I get in game. Because if you want to get Cyberpunk right now, it's only... I have a SATA SSD. My boot drive's an NVMe.
Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood, thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed, cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got him!
Okay. You know, we'll get this up. Hey, what is my name? I gotta get this resolution fixed. Okay. Graphics. Video. Okay. Oh my god, so many tabs. We'll get it. Okay. Dude, it's MSI afterburner time. Okay, let me get this audio fixed. My bad for it being so loud. Oh my god, this game is loud. I turned on music. 20... 35? Hey, Chumba. That's what I'm saying is like, why am I Chumba? Who is that? I don't... Maybe it's a random name. I think I'm a guest account on CD Projekt Red Games. Okay, I just opened up Afterburner. Dude, and yeah, what is up with the... Come on, Intel, put an FPS counter! Put one on here! Why do you have an overlay without an FPS counter? I accidentally just opened the ARC software. My bad. Okay, so let's see what it defaulted us to. We should be able to max out textures, so I guess high is max, maybe. We'll turn on DLSS on this GPU, obviously. I think I'm gonna turn like music like all the way down almost. 10? 5? How does that sound? Hey, SpongeBob, bro. If you want me to try the 750, like you can send me one, bro. It's like I don't got money like that. Okay. Yeah, that sounds a lot better on my end. Because if I'm assuming if it's loud on my end, it's loud on you guys as well. This game has XeSS, so keep that in mind as well. We'll start with it off, and let's just do a preset. Okay, click the button. Okay, don't want to do ray tracing. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. We'll do Steam Deck graphics. And try high at 1440p. Maybe high. I think that'd be pretty good. We'll just let it kind of go. Turn off motion blur. My dude, they always... What is up with mouse sensitivity in damn near every game? It's messed up. Like, always way too high. Let's see how this game is. Starting it. What? I usually go like hard. Oh, it does? Does it enable it? Oh, it does. Okay, okay. Yeah, let's turn off XeSS. Okay, we're at native. We're at native. Okay, okay. And you guys know how I do this, right? Oh, by the way, if you guys were ever curious as well, if you're on Windows 11, you can use borderless Windows, and I'm not sure about latency, that's the only problem, but it runs exactly the same, like FPS wise, as every other as full screen. So you don't actually have to worry about that. So I love borderless window now, because there's like a setting in Windows 11 that allows you to do that. So how I do this on my thing here, do you see on the top right? I actually do this live while I'm playing the game. So this is 1440p native, and then we put it on high. There you go. All right, new game. Hard. You think it's too low usually? Do you have like, I think I'm on 800 DPI. I think. What is this? V is life. You guys are going to have to tell me what this is. You can make big corpa. So this is Nvidia. This is AMD when they're being edgy with their marketing. And then this is, you know, for the streets. Well, what's the difference? I'm confused. Is this how you start your game? Playing on the Steam Deck would be funny. It kind of would. I hope this card is faster than the Steam Deck. I like that games have been adding Steam Deck presets. At least CD Projekt Red games have. There's one in Witcher 3 as well. I don't know what's better. This is the intro. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just Street Kid. That sounds cool. Do we be an awkward looking guy or awkward looking girl? There's no nudity in this game at the beginning, right? I want to get banned. We awkward looking guy. Okay. Oh wait, can you turn that off? Okay, wait. I want to make sure that's off. Where would it even be? Video? We need like a censored mode for this game. Cause I know there's nudity in this game. Cause it's literally in the description or the whatever that's called. Where would it be? Video graphics. Graphics? Sorry, it's my bad for not knowing this stuff, but this is the first time I've ever launched this. It was on the screen. It's under gameplay. Miscellaneous nudity sensor. On. Okay, okay. Yeah, or else we're gonna end up like a Rust situation where you just walk around and you can see everybody's dicks. It's just really awkward. Yeah, we'll be the girl. We'll be the girl. I don't really care. Is there a randomizer? What do you guys think? Yeah, we can.
I'm V.
What? She just turned into a man.
I'm V.
I'm V.
Dude, I kind of want to give her that. What if we make her really hot, and then we give her a male voice? Oh, it kind of looks green. Now she looks like a ghost. Okay. I kind of want to make the green one because it looks kind of funny. Where is it? Ooh, no, like this one. That's kind of funny. It's Prime Month. Dude, she's a trap. Look at this olive looking one. Oh, I didn't know what it was changing, and then it's just like her face, but her hair is covering everything. Sure, freckles. Oh, interesting. Well, that's kind of cool. Wait, are we literally a robot? You call him ma'am? Are we a robot? Or is like is this kind of stuff here kind of like cosmetic, or is this like, oh, it doesn't track my mouse? No. Oh, it's because I'm in a game. Hybrid. Okay, these are like cosmetic cybernetic things. So, do we get vision in our eyes? Is that kind of? I feel like that's what that would be. Dude, now we just look like Junker Queen. I probably had this haircut at one time. I'm not gonna lie. We have an afro. Well, yeah. The hair physics are kind of dope. Like, do you see that? That's cool. This game is really technically impressive, and the fact that it was only $30 today when I got it. Just make her bald. No, we have to make her look hot. It's the hottest stuff. That one's kind of cool. Too emo. Yeah, no. That's a... No, this is a different one. A lot of them don't look that good, though. That's kind of cool. Make her look like Rihanna. What is Rihanna's haircut right now? Do we have to look this up? Rihanna. Oh, it's like the little bobs. Or she does the waves quite a bit. Yeah, we could do that. See what Vex considers hot. Yeah, let's see. I kind of like this one, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the reddish color, though. I didn't know you had this much customization in the game. Feeling like Skyrim out here. It's like these kind of colors and stuff, they look too fake to me. The red kind of looks like teal. Like, I'm almost more into just like the more natural colors. A little bit too much. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's not natural, but it looks kind of cool. And like yellow just looks ugly. Can you, Tom? Okay. I kind of want to do that like red one. There's like a, yeah, like this one. This one looks good. Okay, eyes. Oh, it zooms in. Fancy. But how are you supposed to see the eye? Like, hair's covering up like half the eyes. It is really impressive too. Like, do you see that? Like, just how like the physics work. That's so cool. What am I even? The eyes are doing something. They're like changing. Oh my god, that is trippy. You're like. There was one earlier that I think looked a lot better than these. Okay, they're like, it's so minuscule. Let's say this one. There you go. It's kind of natural. They look very bored. Oh, this is where we get to choose our stats. This is like Fallout. What do we get? We have 7 points. Okay, we have to min-max this. What do we do? What's the best strategy? How do we destroy every character in the game? Because I don't know what these mean. They'll end up looking weirder. Yeah, let's back it up. Let's see if they almost look too small. Oh, those ones look kind of nice. Dude, like, look at the graphics. That's so cool. Like, look at the reflections on the lips. Dude, that is sick. Okay. I don't know what the best thing to do. Have you guys played this game? We could just overpower everybody. All strength and dexterity. It's probably a good thing. What would dexterity be? Reflexes in this? Just do it. Like, we're just gonna be a beast. We're just gonna run people over. And then our last one. Cool. You have a coolness stat. Technical ability is the last one, right? I wish it had a random generator. I swear to God, I don't see one. Do you guys see one? I don't see one. Is it random? Oh, wait, this is random. Oh, no. Wait, this gets crazy. This gets crazy. Wait, where are the tattoos at? Must be at the end. Oh my God, what the hell is going on? Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay, chat. Okay, pick a number from 1 to 10. Undo. 7? 7 is a lucky number. 6, bro, you can't count. I see 2 7s. No, it's herpes. It's a method. 7. I see 3 7s, 2 6s, a 6.9. Okay. All right. Oh, there's some 3s now. Well, 3's getting popular. Okay. I don't know how I thought this was going to be a good idea, but I was like, if everybody had the same number. So what we're going to do, I think I'm going to do 7 spins. Whatever is 7th spin on is our character. Okay? No matter what it is, we are going to be cursed. That's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Oh God, we look like a demon. Okay. Okay. We're a street kid. Bro, we're from the streets. It could have been worse. I saw some really bad ones in the thing. Not gonna lie. You can change your face. I would hope you can change your cosmetics and stuff. Wait, it's loaded. Okay. Is this rendered? No, this looks like it's... Let's change that. Okay. I say a little anesthesia. Hi. What?
Do it, John.
What do they mean by set broken nose, bro? Like, what happened? What are they talking about?
The pain and you'll be set. Do it, John.
What are they talking about? Ooh. I'm breaking my nose. Says I got hit.
Motherfucker. Everything chill, mano? Some bastard tried to mug me. I handled it. Oh, local guy.
We talk like a guy.
You really think somebody local will try to mug me, Pepe?
I thought it was him talking.
Listen, V. I got a problem. Serious this time. Find yourself a hole, sounds.
Bro, we're just a dude.
Need help? Knew I could count on you. It's Kirk.
Dude, if I hit the randomizer generator in real life, this would be what I consider hot, I guess.
And he don't joke about that stuff. Got cartels in his corner. You in it with Kirk? Every man, woman, and rat in Haywood knows he's a fucking shark.
My bro
Man.
jumped the joint. Deserve the hero's welcome.
Oh
I know
my.
I fuck up, V.
I'll talk
I don't
to
really
Kurt,
care.
But then you're gonna owe me one.
Yeah, you're gonna owe me one.
You're saving my life, V.
Okay. Wait, it's not that bad. Wait. Arc A770, high settings, 50-ish FPS.
No, it's dry. All dry.
Oh, I have to go through here, bro. Okay, okay. Guys, we're questing. That's not that bad. If I'm being honest. This is probably the most demanding game that's out right now.
Hey, Kirk.
Hey, Kirk.
Talk.
V, been a while.
Bro, why can't I jump on the
What
table?
you need?
Oh man.
Pepe asked me to talk you up.
Oh yeah.
What, he too shy to hand over the Eddies himself? Tell him I don't bite. Not yet.
No, it's native right now. I checked. What? Sorry, I didn't like listen. What did he say? Sure.
What's he owe you?
Afraid that's client confidentiality. Call it a lot and leave it at that.
A cred shark with
Look at
business
that bro's
secrets.
monkey ears, bro.
Sounds too good to be true.
I bet
Well,
those flow in the
Merry
breeze.
fucking
I bet that feels good.
How's your problem?
How's that burger, bro? He just shoves his face into the burger.
Cut him some slack, will you? You'll pay. Just need some more time.
Wait, why would it? Did you see the hand on the left? It like
Do I look like
ghosted.
a priest that runs a charity to you? You borrow Eddies, you gotta pay him back. With
I just wanna
interest.
get
It's
outside.
common fucking knowledge. You
Let's just skip.
No.
Sorry, I'm not here for the story.
Transactions go.
Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom. Bro, imagine walking up and just hearing a girl that sounds like this.
Four of them in NC as of now. One,
Zoom, 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 zoom.
I do this.
Zoom, zoom.
both.
Oh, we're going.
How am I supposed to?
Zoom, 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 zoom. Come on. Talking, talking.
We are.
So I'm guessing you could deny him.
Always said you were a bright bulb.
Okay, yeah.
Head to Embers in the Glen. Rick's in the garage. Be waiting.
This is literally the benchmark. Wait, you weren't lying. This is the building.
I was at the hospital.
Yeah, this literally is the benchmark. This table, do you see this in every single Daniel Owen video ever? Oh, yo, what up? Okay, and then in the benchmark, yeah, we go out the door. Oh, it's nighttime though. Oh,
Fast motherfucker.
bro, what you say to me?
No
Okay.
goddamn lemons, no goddamn lines. They're in there, for sure.
Hey, we can run.
Veterans some change.
Bro, I'm broke. What are you talking about?
Tell them to be ready.
Okay, okay, okay. Let's check out these. Under 60. Yeah, it should be at least 120. I mean, this is at 1440p native. It's not that bad if I'm being honest. But it's either we try medium or we could turn on some XCSS. You know what I mean? So I'd say we do high and then we just allow XCSS to go quality. The frame time graph was not solid. I will say it hasn't dropped any frames to the stream. It feels really good with XCSS now. So all I have to do is go over here and I just say XCSS quality. There you go. This feels good.
B, I haven't finished.
It feels good on mine. I feel like motion blur's on now. That's motion blur, right? I swear to God. Yeah. Motion blur can be kind of nice. How's the image with XeSS? Let's leave on the... Oh, do you want to try the Steam Deck preset? Wait, let's just try it really quick. Because it's funny. Steam Deck. Okay. Okay.
I'm listening.
Oh, I thought I was stuck on something.
Not finished.
VU, I'm not finished. Oh, bye-bye. It's not even running that much,
Money's got nothing to do.
better. If I'm being honest. What is this at? I do like XeSS, by the way. It seems like you can sharpen it if you want. What is this at? Like, what is Steam Deck quality? High, medium? That's not bad. If this is what Steam Deck is? Yeah, so it's about the same, but then they probably do a lot more upscaling, right? Which it seems like it's doing FSR to auto, which is probably around... Looks like... balanced to me. See, that's the thing. Okay, it's gonna be hard to tell. So do you guys see that vent? Right there, like this one. Look at this one on the wall. When I back up, you see how it's kind of, you know, weird with FSR. Okay. So I'm gonna turn on XeSS. Go on quality. Sharpness at 50%. Okay. See if it still happens. Which it does seem like it still does. In a less distracting way, kind of. This kind of looks like flashy. What is it? Wait, what does this look like? Like a native, actually. I'm gonna have to check that first. Off. Like, it kind of still happens at native. I think FSR actually looked better in this case. Auto is just always set to performance mode, basically, probably. It kind of does it on native as well. Twitter tails. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to the high preset and let's put on XeSS quality. That looks good. Okay. Let's do whatever the heck this mission is. About 60 FPS.
Yep. No place like home.
No place like home. Is there a third person mode in this game? Oh. Okay, you double tap in a direction, you can like strafe. Oh, that kind of stripped me out.
Got back from Atlanta a few weeks ago.
See, you got a good down home welcome.
They'd look at
How
me.
was it back east?
Tell you later. Got something on my plate.
How about you fill me in now? We'll give you a ride.
I can't get out. No. Aw. Let me in. Oh, you can see your legs. Good game. I don't know. We might have to go to medium.
The Glen. Drop me off at Embers.
Front door?
Take the ramp back of the bar.
Notice we're not using
Stop.
that much VRAM too. If you were concerned about VRAM usage, this game uses, I have access to 16 gigabytes, where textures are on, where are textures at? Where is this? I don't know where textures are, but there is somewhere in here.
You heard it, Marcus.
My God.
Your return to NC has been good. Busy already?
I don't care. Can we just shoot people?
Pick up something here and there. Nothing major. But I'm
Just
getting by.
the dude voice just throws me off.
So, Atlanta didn't turn out like you expected, huh?
The frame time graph isn't that consistent, I agree.
Went there without expectations, actually. Well,
Under video
better
settings.
than here. It wasn't.
Maybe it'll all
Well, shit is
work out for the
daytime.
best.
I mean, that's allocating 9 gigs, but it's only using 6. So this is actually doable on an 8 gig GPU.
Shit.
Let's move it. Let's move there. Okay. Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
Stop the car.
What's going on?
Business.
Yeah, stop the car. I have an AMD GPU and it's about to explode. Yeah, watch out. I think textures are on high. Let me just double check it, but textures. It's not in here. I swear I'm not tripping. I don't know. Somewhere.
Sebastian Ibarra. Looks like it's my lucky day.
What do you want?
To settle our biz. Once
Bro,
and
get
for
out
all.
of my face. God damn, you're too close.
Got an offer for you, Patty, so listen up. Get the fuck out of Vista. Pull your boys off the street. I'll give you the Glen. Done deal. No
It looks
more
kind of
restless
stuttery
nights.
on the
See how generous I
OBS
can
viewer,
be?
by the way. How does it look on you guys
Well,
then?
Patty,
It
what's
feels
gonna
smooth in
be?
person.
A counter offer. Turn around now and slide your ass right back into your ride. And your mother, who lives on Pájaro, will wake up safe and sound in the morning. The Lord is ever watching, cabron.
Dude, I've thought about it. I feel like it looks stuttery. Am I crazy?
You neither, shit bucket.
On the OBS viewer?
Marcus, please.
That could be the Intel card. Like, I'm telling you, in person, it looks buttery smooth. Like, like when I'm panning back and forth like this on the OBS viewer, it looks like I'm dropping frames.
You know what I mean?
Who was that?
No one important. He'll be gone in a week's
I don't know.
time.
See, that's the type of things with the Intel encoder that I was talking
Old
about.
iron on you.
Is like, it just like,
He did.
it's just dropping frames.
And he will pay for doing so.
It doesn't say it's dropping frames to the stream, but it says I'm dropping frames on my recording. Yeah, I'm encoding this on the card. I'd have to restart stream if I wanted to switch it.
Pull up here. Right here. I'll just drop down below.
Here, before you go.
Your number.
Could be
Your
useful.
number.
Maybe we can also work
Yeah, I'm
together
definitely
again.
encoding everything on the card.
Take ourselves back 2 years.
Thanks, Padre. Gotta go.
Bro, can we shoot people? Like, when am I getting a gun? I just want to... Oh, what the hell, dude? I thought I was jumping off a bridge.
I'll be damned.
You asking to die? Bro, what is bro doing? Dude, what beat is going on in his head? Hey, does it look stuttery? I think it does. So that's not bad. So let's try ray tracing really quick. Try ray tracing on high. What do you guys think about that? Or just do ray tracing medium. That might be reasonable. Which is XE super sampling to auto, which I'm gonna set it to quality. Okay. Okay. So we went from 60 to like 30. Now it looks stuttery on my end too. And motion blur is definitely on. Oh my. Yeah, motion blur, like when you're at lower FPS like this, it doesn't look bad. Okay. I mean, it cut our FPS in about half, but that's pretty normal. It's not that bad though. Like with motion blur, it's actually kind of playable.
Don't belong here.
RT on, FPS gone. Okay, did you guys want to see another game, or do you want to still see me play this? Yeah, I'm using AV1 to stream, and then I'm using the same encoder to record, so it should only be encoding it once. Halo. I have a decent amount of games. I have well, I did Last of Us in the video. I did I didn't do Forspoken, but who cares about Forspoken? Like, let's be honest. I can do Halo. See if it's downloaded really quick. Oh, it didn't download. 10 days remaining. Wait, I typed in 40,000. I am not... Dude. I typed in 40,000 earlier. I know that for a fact because I double checked myself. And it inputted 40 kilobytes per second. What the hell, Valve? Okay, well, I guess we're playing Cyberpunk for a little bit longer. Unless we want to try out something else, like... Can it run Doki Doki? I have no clue. Anything else in here you guys want to check out? There's, I mean, I tested a lot of this stuff in the video, that's the only thing. I could do, like, an older game, like RTX. Candy Crush. So once that's downloaded, then we'll get that going. I tested Dishonored before, actually, too. I'm gonna get out of this game because it's gonna destroy us or something. I don't even know if I'm gonna play it through Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is probably gonna be a benchmark game for me. Yeah, I did test Dishonored too. I just didn't show it. It runs good. I'll show you that. That up here actually, if I can find it really quick. Or footage B-roll. Here it is on Intel GPU. I'm actually, during the 30-day challenge, I'm marking games at the beginning. I don't have Assassin's Creed downloaded. I'm testing games at the beginning. I'm gonna adjust my camera really quick too, because now I'm small. I'm testing games at the beginning of June, and then it's gonna be in the beginning of July. So I'm actually marking that. I'm gonna see if I can see an improvement in performance from the time it released. So yeah, this is it in Dishonored. It's, you get like on medium settings, 1440p native, you get like 100 FPS. I mean, that's pretty good. 6700 gets like 110, 115. It's like really close. Oh, I did just... Can you enable it to download games while you're playing a game on Steam? Because if I play anything on Steam, I'm going to get a it's going to pause my downloads. It's in the settings somewhere. One sec. Let me just check here. Settings, downloads. Allow downloads during gameplay. Oh, I already have that enabled. Okay, well, we should be able to play a game. We should be able to play it. Yeah, I think I have it on. So we could try anything here. I tested RE4 in the video. I think we could try Skyrim if you guys want to see how that performs. I give you that, like, you know, like, oh, this is the special edition. Oops. By the way, the special edition runs better. Oh no, I haven't played Sekiro, fortunately. But I could try, where's Skyrim at? Where'd my Skyrim go? Elder Scrolls Fire Skyrim. So this is the DirectX 9 version of Skyrim. The special edition, if you want any reference, is on DirectX 12. Black Flag. Yeah, DirectX 11 just runs better. I think on this build, on this game, I was doing a Khajiit and doing like crazy melee damage. So you see in the top left, like that is consistent. It's always like, oh wait, kind of flatlined. You look over here, wait. Look right, if you look right there, it's a complete flat line. I mean, I don't feel it though. I mean, the FPS is high enough, even though it does have those stutters, like you don't really feel it. Where was I trying to go? And I did this so long ago. Dude, the unlocked FPS, I had to show that in the video too. Uh, 6650 XT I think is about the same speed as the 770. Oh wait, it's smooth when you look at the mountain too. Do you guys see that stutter? Like it happens. What's funny too is the GPU is maxed out, whereas like a 6700 doesn't even get maxed out before it hits a frame cap. Oh damn. Wait, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's not gonna show things correctly. Yeah, it looks stuttery for you guys. It's smooth on my end. So if you're curious about, if you were curious about frame times in Skyrim, yeah. I would have to restart stream. I mean, I don't, it's either that or I just end this recording and see how it is. It shouldn't really be interfering with it. So I'm recording and see what happens. Let me know if that's better. Is that just Skyrim being buggy? Oh no, wait, did it just crash? Dude, how is this one of the best selling games of all time? Like, I know it's a good game, but it's like you tab out and the game crashes. Is that Ark? Don't know. Where are we at on Halo? We're 53%. Says we got about 13 minutes. Old room. I don't know. Same thing happens with some other games. You can't play Ark on Ark. Yeah, this thing is just like a pain. I did delete Special Edition to make room for other games. So, oh, you know what would be kind of interesting? Rihanna. Would actually be... So, to check this really fast... By the way, let me know how it is on smoothness for you guys. Apparently, if you turn on ray tracing in Minecraft before you actually go into your world, it works. Let's see if that is the case. You literally have to get mods because Bethesda couldn't do it themselves. Okay, so apparently, if you go here and you go video first and turn on, which doesn't seem like you can, so I don't think this makes any sense, but let's see. I don't think you can turn on ray tracing before you go into... Okay, the game's loading. apparently. I don't think you can. I don't think you can run ray tracing on Minecraft. Because this is literally what it looks like. I sped it up for the video. Once this loads. Like, do you see ray tracing like kind of pop up there? It's like, oh, ray tracing. And it doesn't. So, obviously, okay, just as a baseline. So we're at like, you know, like 200 FPS. Just as a baseline. And what I did find out that in this game, if you turn on anti-aliasing, it makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna max out to 16. It doesn't make visually that much of a difference. We went from like 200 FPS to like 150. So. So let's turn down this to like 4. 4 is a nice balance that I found. And then, should be turn on ray tracing. I clicked the button, by the way. Let's see if it goes on. Stream got choppy with anti-aliasing. Did it turn on? It worked. I tried this 3 times before. I don't have Flight Sim. Okay, ray tracing turned on. Not bad. Okay, what is annoying though is like if you're not on Nvidia, you can't turn on upscaling. So, I mean, you're hard stuck at 30 FPS at 1440p native. It's stuttering on my end too. So how does it look on stream? Well, it's like, it's not stuttery, it's choppy. Does it look stuttery though? 1 frame per week. I'm just walking in a straight line. What do you think? The mountains look so jiggly. Not the mountains, but the really choppy. It does look decently smooth on my end. But you can't actually look at the frame time graph and it looks wild up there, I'm not gonna lie. Oofy. You can't, like, am I crazy? Like, you can't adjust resolution in this game at all. I mean, unless you go windowed mode. There you go. It's not even that much better. My CPU limited now? I think I am. How's it look now? So yeah, I guess it works now. 5900X. Literally, that's in the description, SpongeBob. Like, bro, like, get a brain. Well, it's crazy. I loaded into this world and I spawned in an ice spikes biome. It was kind of wild. That, like, never happens. Oh my god, the frame, like, woo! I went bye-bye-bye. I prefer Java, too. But it's only because of the quality of life things in Java. GPU is running weird. It should not be at 75 watts doing ray tracing. Oh, it is running very weird. What does Arc Control say? Say it's reporting about the same power. GPU activity is reporting about the same. Ooh, this is running really weird. Maybe it's still reporting 100% utilization over there on the right. But it's using all of its ray tracing performance. Anything rasterization based is just like put on the back burner because ray tracing is so heavy. That is interesting. But it does work though. Definitely is running weird. Wouldn't really recommend. Maybe a 1080p would be okay. But yeah. It sort of works. Halo's almost up. So you know, one last thing I was thinking about, checking out was Paul's video. I already watched it though. My bit rate on my stream just dropped, by the way. SpongeBob, you like recommend all these parts. Is like, bro, I'm not like a trust fund baby. Like, I don't got money like that. I'm not sure if it's CPU bound though. It could literally be Arc bugging out. I was thinking about checking out Paul's video. He made a video about AMD GPUs and how they're gonna mess the 7800 XT. They're gonna mess that up. I mean, the Bedrock usually runs really well. Hey, let's check out Halo Infinite. The game that everybody loves, right? You guys play Halo? I played Reach. That's my only Halo game. It's like, seriously, like I got money like that. Really expensive. Like, you're talking about the 7800 X3D. Just the chip on its own. Did it just crash? Wait, what just happened? That chip on its own is $400. A motherboard is a decent one, probably like $150 to $200. $600 in. RAM is another at least $100. You're talking about damn near like a $700 try out a 7800 X3D. Oh yeah, I'll just try it out. I think the game crashed. I liked Combat Evolved as well. Actually, I played that one. No, I played ODST. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah. So I'll take $100 off of my CPU. It's not a $700. It's not a $700 test out. It's a $600 test out. Yeah. For what? Plus the 7800 X3 loses to my 5900X in productivity. Unless you want to pay for it, then stop. Because I can't afford it. I don't think many people in chat, even the average person, has money like that. PC gaming is pretty expensive. Should I buy the 6950 XT for $630? I just wanted to consult you. As you have broken up some of the AMD slander. It's really up to you. 4070 doesn't look that bad. It's really a toss up between them. Obviously, Intel has nothing at that price point. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. The other upgrade would be a 7900 XT, which isn't that much of an upgrade. I mean, it's a toss up between that and the 4070. It's really up to you. Okay. Oh. Signing into Xbox, apparently. I spent all my money on Intel stock. An open box 4070 for 450, that's a good deal. That's as much as 3080s are going for used. Same performance. Okay, it's like the game loaded up. I thought I was gonna sign in. It said nah. What does this mean? Like, what does this mean here? I have no clue. I guess that's a tab out and close the game. See if it'll start up. Just want to test this real quick. Failed. Okay. Failed to create DirectX 12 device for the following adapter. Intel Arc A770. Okay. That sounds like an Intel problem. Okay, it is launching again though. See if this goes through. Okay, I have to do this whole loading bar thing again, which took a while last time. By the way, I am on Windows 11, by the way. Yeah, it's between the, I mean, seriously, could you get an open box? RTX 4070. Open box. Let's see if it just comes up. What? These are 4070 Ti's. 48. That's a good deal. I mean, well, I don't know if it's a good deal, but it's like, it's better compared to what 4080s are. They're still going for like at least like 1150. Open box, basically brand new. There's, hey yo. Hey, if anybody wants to hop on this deal, that is a good deal. I don't know if the gigabyte card is good. It's probably fine because it's a 3-fan cooler on like a 200-watt GPU. If anybody wants to hop on that deal, that is a good deal. Because what they've sold, some 4070s have sold for about, I don't know what equivalent price, like with the Steam gift card things, for like 500 or something. Dude, it's like, this is only 50 bucks more than the shitty 4060 Ti. It's a lot faster than the 4060 Ti, actually. A lot faster, like probably like 30 to 40% faster. Dude, man, you got ripped. I'm sorry for you. Okay. Okay, this is just broken. Well, it's not MSRP, it's open box. Open box is basically brand new. Okay, I can't test Halo Infinite, so I guess that's your answer. I guess I can't run it. I guess you're screwed. Don't know. I wonder if a restart on my computer would solve anything like that. Well, we can check. We weren't able to check Halo Infinite, but we could check Master Chief Collection. So I was tempted to see what DirectX versions. What DirectX is Master Chief Collection. It's DX11. So it's basically a DX11 game. So let's go ahead and check it out then. See what it does here. Sure. That changed. I watched this before, but it changed. Maybe it can run Crysis. Crysis is probably DirectX 9, right? So we'll try out Reach. I don't know how many people still play this stuff nowadays. Like, I returned my 3050 and they're giving me back $300. Should I get the 6700 non-XT or save some money for the XT version? I would just get the XT version. 12 gigs of VRAM is nice. They're already giving you 300 bucks. Spend the extra 20 and get the 6700 XT. I would do it. It's worth it. It's already so close. Okay. Cool. Sign in real quick. Okay. This game sucks on DX11. Oh, look at the average player's experience then. Campaigns, check Halo Reach. I think it was just epic. I heard people in the, well, I didn't hear people, but I saw people in the comments talk about DXVK. So I don't know how to enable it. I don't know how to skip this this intro either. I know I can't do anything. I'm pressing enter, space, tab, escape. Okay, looks like we're getting in here. Literally nothing works.
Listen up, noble team. We're
Maybe
looking at a down relay.
Man, you're a loud shush. Game volume. Bye bye. There you go.
50 clicks from Visegrad. We're gonna
Still
introduce
loud.
ourselves to whoever took it out, and then Kat's gonna get it back online.
How's that?
Get me under the hood, Commander.
So why would rebels want to cut
Well,
off reach from the
I
rest
mean,
of
this
the
is
colony?
rendered.
You got a chance, maybe you can ask him, George.
Okay. It's not looking that good.
Signals at HQ.
Backup channels.
Searching.
Is it? Did I just not hold it long enough?
Shoot down attempts are likely, so keep your distance.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Oh, do you see that?
Watch your sectors.
By the way, is it like looking choppy like normally for you guys? There's a huge frame drop there though. I'll have to check in just a second. Oh my. What's going on there? Do y'all see that? 20 FPS?
Troopers, let's check it out.
Okay, let's check. I mean, we can check this. Looks like we're on high. I can turn it down to normal. Just turn off shit. Oh my, dude. See, that's just the thing. Like, there's no way I'm CPU limited. I have 1440p. V-Sync. I don't. It is on, so I'll turn that off. Let's see.
June, I want your eyes on the sky. So.
Yeah. The only way to do it. Well,
Let's go, Sid.
it should be able to run this at 1440p, so it just actually struggles.
All right, noble team.
So you'd probably have to use
Watch the
DXVK.
approach.
Oh my. Dude, it's like I'm actually running it on the 360. I'm pretty sure, like, I haven't tested
Structure point 34.
the 6700 on this game, but I think even the 1070 was performing way better than this. Oh my.
Distress beacons coming from just south of you, Commander. We're close.
Roger that. Eyes
Yeah, so how do you launch games in DXVK? This is on a single thread? There's no way. This is only one thread. Even the 360 had 3 cores. There's no way they'd
Take
run
out
this at
any ID?
Negative. But
That'd be
it's Thursday.
stupid.
So where are the troopers?
Oh, I'm not gonna do all that.
Why are we not seeing explosives residue?
Noble 3.
I thought it might be a toggle in
Confirm
Windows.
NVIDIA residue in the area.
Negative, sir.
Yeah, so this is bad.
Maybe.
Can't be. Not on reach.
So you'd have to do something like DXVK if you
All right,
really wanted to
looks like
run
there's
it.
Nothing here. Let's
But
move
then
on.
you know you could just buy a different graphics card from the start.
Smoke at the next structure, boss.
Circle west and check it out. Noble team, you have permission to deselect.
That sucks, dude.
Need to telegraph a
ASRock does make good motherboards nowadays, by the way. I mean, I don't know if I go for the real cheap ones, but like, I always kill these guys. Oh, wait, can you kill them?
That's a clean kill.
That's a clean kill. I mean, I'll try it. You shouldn't have to turn off shadows. You can't even turn them off. You can turn them to low. No. It doesn't really help. That is bad. Yeah, like I think my 1070 performs significantly better than this. Significantly.
Noble 6, moving to the house. Going quiet.
I'm right behind you.
Yeah, that's a wrap. That's rough. That is rough. I don't know if that's something Intel would have to optimize for, or if like, or what even happens to make that work. I have no clue. It could really be anything. So that's a bummer. There's just like a lot of things that you just wouldn't expect. You would have to use probably DXVK and go for that. I'm not gonna bother with it. I mean, we can check maybe if somebody has a video on it. In Halo Master Chief Collection. It's not gonna check it. Nobody has it. Running on Linux wine doesn't really come up. It is what it is. I mean, if you want to do that, it probably works. A lot of people in the comments on the ARC video talked about just using DXVK for a lot of the games that are out there. So you could just try that in general, and that'll probably help in a decent amount of games. I also like have just like the question is like, why don't more games use Vulkan? Like Vulkan is like clearly superior than DirectX in like almost every way. So like, I don't know why there would be a reason, but it's true. There's a little bit of testing on the ARC. Yeah, the struggle with older games beats me. Master Chief Collection is technically DX11, but yeah, Vulkan's just better. Damn, that's tough. Yeah, the RE remake, it's already in the video if you want to see it. I don't know. I mean, I don't have Hitman SpongeBob. I never even tried it. I played Dishonored. That was my stealth game of choice. Do you know the difference between DRAM DIMMs? That might be an extra B or something. Between DRAM DIMMs and other types. DRAM DIMMs? I don't know what you're trying to say. And Dead Space Remake, I don't have that either. Vulkan is great for Linux. That's good. Motherboards, because ARC is supposed to be good on Vulkan too. I can't test it on anything in Vulkan. The only thing I have is Doom, but I don't have it downloaded right now. I don't have space for it either. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up stream. That has been good though. And got quite the experience about talking about Intel ARC. Like they have a chance, but maybe not that much of a chance. So y'all say your goodbyes. I'm gonna wrap it up here soon. Sorry, average viewer, about to end. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for joining. Shout out to Shelly, the menace. I didn't ban her. So yeah, stay safe, guys. Have a good night or a good day wherever you are. Take it easy.